marketplace. Now they're officially higher than they've been in a long time. And now more than ever, I think it's important to have a mortgage professional that has been there, done that. Any Yahoo can sell you a mortgage when it's 2.75%. Those people are going away. The real professionals are the ones that are staying in business and helping their clients through this kind of tough time out there as far as mortgage rates are concerned. Those people are the Lund Mortgage team. Matt Oliver, Lisa Lund, they've owned this team for a long time, over 2 decades in the Valley. They are the best in the business, and they will walk you through the process, whether it's refinancing now or probably more importantly, a new home loan. Let them do all the heavy lifting for you. Call today, 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940 or online, lundmortgage.com.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Arizona offers thousands of helpful resources for service members, veterans, and their families, but navigating the system can be confusing and overwhelming. Call 866-4AZ-VETS to talk directly to caring people professionally trained to help you. Get connected to resources and benefits at no cost. Just call 866-4AZ-VETS now. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, all right, so y'all know what happened. It happened, and I guess we're going to talk about that first, just because there's no way of getting around it. Randy, as you know, Cliff Kingsbury, gone. Steve Keim, gone. And as if to clear way for someone who could be both the coach and the GM. Who might they be thinking?
Vance Joseph.
Yeah, I really doubt that. There's like 0% chance it'll be Vance Joseph.
All right, that was just my luck, but go ahead.
Do you want another guess, or do we go around the room?
Well, I would suffice it to say, perhaps Sean Payton, as I've been saying.
So I don't know who Ian Cunningham is, but I guess the Cardinals have requested permission to speak with him about being a general manager for the Cardinals. He's the Bear assistant manager in Chicago.
Oh my God! Wait, what?
They may just be throwing stuff like that out there, just like, "Hey, Sean Payton, we've got options too." But I don't know. Maybe the Cardinals, the Cardinals are going to ask for permission to talk to Sean Payton. I mean, listen, you gotta talk to more than just one guy. You know what I'm saying? But that is a report that came out that the Cardinals have requested to talk to Ian Cunningham. And I'll be very much against this if it turns out he pronounces his name Ian. That just annoys me.
Well, I don't think so. But apparently he's an assistant GM with the Bears.
Yep, that's what I said.
From what I'm reading here, which is kind of impressive, He's a hot commodity in the NFL circles.
All right, so 15 years in the NFL. He was
Yeah.
director of college scouting for the Eagles in 2017. He was
Yeah.
assistant director of player personnel
Yeah.
2019, and then director of player personnel 2021. Before that, he had 9 seasons with the Ravens as a player personnel assistant and an area scout in 2013. Never a GM, but working that direction, I guess. But I'm not sure what we have to show us the impressiveness of this as a possibility.
Well, I mean, he's young. He's
Keon's young.
Well, Ian Cunningham is young as
Might
well.
be Ian. You got to keep that in mind.
Well, it could be. I don't think so, though. I kind of, I'm willing to take a look at this guy's credentials, see what he can bring to the team. Do some more research on him. Bottom line is, it's sort of a happy day for me, and you're not going to get me too bummed out because
why would you be bummed?
The possum and Drinky Drunk both gone same day.
Yep,
whammo, out of here.
House cleaning, but wait just a moment before you get too happy. One rumor around is that Steve Keim will still be part of the Arizona Cardinals. And somebody even said it might maybe even as a co-GM with somebody else. And I know that's probably not preferable news.
No, I haven't heard that news at all. I heard for sure he is definitely stepping away. He is not going to be. I haven't seen anything that's got him affiliated with the team any longer. He is completely gone.
And I don't know how he would be empowered to do anything if he were to leave and then you hire a new GM or you hire Sean Payton and then he comes back to be co-GM. There's no room in the building anymore for you. That's all.
Just repeating the rumor that I heard. That's all. It would be dumb if they did. So Kingsbury gone, Keim gone. Kingsbury now takes his impressive 28-37-1 record absolutely nowhere. Keim, same thing. These guys are done. They're
well. I think Keim. I think he's done for sure because the NFL channel I was watching, the NFL channel, and what's his name on there? Ian Rappaport said that Keim is stepping down completely to focus on his health. So I don't know that he's going to be looking for a job anytime soon.
You know how things go. So there's one other piece of information that has come down the wire just a little bit ago, like 20 minutes ago, that I think is going to probably sullen the mood. And that is that Michael Bidwell has said today that he's going to have Kyler Murray with input on who the new coach will be.
Well, why wouldn't you?
He's your $230 million quarterback. And, input doesn't mean final say. It just means input.
Now, Randy, you've been with me through thick and thin.
Yes.
You and I have seen a lot,
Yes,
even in the last 5 years.
Yes.
When I think somebody's an asshat, do I include them on any, decisions or thought processes?
No.
Or do I just stay the hell away from them?
Yeah, you pretty much you have them on. What do the kids call it? Ghosting. You ghost them. Yeah,
arm's length at the very least.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray is just not a guy I'm going to go ask for advice after everything we've seen the last year or so with the way he is and his attitude. I get it. You're saying, Keon, oh, that's a $20-30 million man there. You better find somebody he can play nice with. The answer is nobody. Because the first sign of friction or resistance, you're going to get that same face from Kyler Murray. You're going to get that same pouty. You're going to get all of a sudden your social media cleared out. Oh, the next thing is this, and the next thing is that. It's just that Kyler Murray he's not a good dude to work with a grown up.
If I am Cardinals owner Michael Bidwell, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to get Lincoln Riley on the horn, and I'm going to talk to Lincoln Riley. You know why? Lincoln Riley coached a little Tiny Tim there. Lincoln Riley would know the eccentricities of Tiny Tim and what kind of a coaching style. And then I'm going to formulate my coaching search around this kind of information that I have. You see what I'm saying?
Your other option is to hire a coach, don't care what Kyler thinks, and still get that same result. Like I don't,
I got a question. If you would go to Lincoln Riley and try to dissect what made it work for him, and then try to find it in someone else, why not just go get Lincoln Riley?
Well, easy now.
Well, because the University of Southern California is cutting Lincoln a nice big fat check. So if you don't mind, shelling out the coin for Lincoln Riley,
I'm just
Not my
saying,
team. I don't care, dude.
since I'm the owner and I'm paying this guy an immense amount of money, what would be a good prototype? Does he like a mature, kind of head coach that is a head coach, somebody he can respect and somebody he'll listen to and work alongside? Or does he need sort of a younger coach, maybe someone new to football that's got a bright football mind? I don't know.
Here's what I know about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was at Texas A&M when Kevin Sumlin was there, and he transferred out of Texas A&M, and his reason was not enough discipline here. So that
no, Keon, you have to understand. There's not enough discipline on the other people. It doesn't mean he wishes or hopes for it.
He hadn't played a game yet. I do think Kyler Murray wants that. Like, I look at the Brooklyn Nets, for instance. Jacques Vaughn is an infinitely tougher coach on those guys than Steve Nash was. They're responding better to that. I think having a guy who shows up and sets the tone and says, look, you're going to respect me because these are the credentials.
Sure.
Cliff is not a respectable person. I don't respect Cliff. Well, Chris, you don't respect Cliff. Why should Kyler respect Cliff?
Well, here's the other thing. If you call up Lincoln Riley and you're like, hey, it's me, Mikey Bidwell. You can call me Mikey. All right. Hey, listen, Lincoln. I can call you Lincoln. Can I call you? Okay, Mr. Riley. So Mr. Riley, Coach. Okay. All right, Coach Riley. What can you help me out with when it comes to Kyler Murray? Yeah, Kyler Murray. I'm on my own. Oh, he hung up. Oh,
See, I don't think
laughed
so.
and said I was on my own.
See, I don't think so.
Damn it.
I don't think so. I think Lincoln Riley would have some information that would be good for Michael Bidwell.
Trade him.
Well, I mean, that's also an option, but it sounds like Mr. Bidwell doesn't want to do that. Sounds like he wants to keep him around as the cornerstone of his offense at least a couple more seasons to see if this kid indeed is as good as they say he is.
Which he's shown at times that he can be. So the season before this one was a season that got him paid. Okay, he put up the numbers, he won the games. That it's there.
Except there are pieces missing out of the narrative. One is when he got hurt, he came back shell shocked. Hasn't been the same since. Also, at the beginning of the season is what you're saying he got paid for. The end, when everything crumbled, and then the attitude in the beginning of the season, the attitude and all the stuff in the off season, all of that stuff gets lost in the narrative when you say, oh, look at that season. He had a really great season. That's why we're paying him. But you need a perfect O-line if you're going to get any sort of success with Kyler Murray. And the other part of that is they figured him out. The defense has figured him out. They know what to do. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Last year was his third year in the league. They didn't figure him out in 3 years, but this year they finally did it. No, you don't need a perfect offensive line. We're not talking about the Cardinals offense. I disagree. This line is terrible. It's one of the worst in the league. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think an average line might be good. We've never even seen him behind an average one. What do you mean perfect? You don't need perfect. You know what I mean? I think with him, I don't always see that. I think the line is legitimately bad. You can't have a 3-step drop, and on step 2, there's 2 defensive linemen there.
It's interesting. We heard arguments like this at the beginning of the season, and I was right about the way the season would go. And
every other quarterback they threw in there was also terrible. Maybe it's the line.
Are you really going to put up McSorley and Colt McCoy and Blau as every other quarterback? These guys are backup quarterbacks to the practice squad.
Yeah,
These
and
are
Kyler
not
was not
real quarterbacks.
And there's a gap between them and Kyler and how much better he was than them. So all I'm saying is, if you have Kyler, before you just trade him, you got rid of the awful coach. You got rid of the awful GM. Why don't you try and build something and see what it is? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Let me tell you why. Because this might be your best chance to actually trade him. Because later on, you bring in another coach, another GM, they put in some more pieces that improve the situation, and Kyler flames or freaks. Now you've got even more damaged goods.
Well, if you had a plan to replace him, I would say yes, but you don't.
I do.
With who?
Gardner Minshew.
Because that worked for Philadelphia so well.
He did pretty okay.
He was
did
all
pretty okay.
Okay, and you put him, and that was behind the
I
Eagles.
like him.
The Eagles' offensive line is one of the best in the league. So you
See?
take okay at the bet behind the best in the league and put him behind the worst in the league. You're
look, guys,
improving.
look,
I just don't
Listen,
see
you,
it.
you don't have the same vision I do, Keon.
Clearly not.
Look, guys. Michael Bidwell is trying to do the best in a bad situation. It was bad business, football business, to extend Kingsbury and Kime. Okay, now Kingsbury's walking out of here with that entire contract. Okay, now he's got to figure out how to bring in a coach that will gain the respect of this locker room and the veterans on this team. And he's also got to bring in a GM who can work some deals and get this team right and heading on the track again. He's got a mountain ahead of him of things to do. And if he chooses to bring in his quarterback to work together with a head coach to give him the best possible chance to make this thing right again, I say he's going to be fine doing it. I just suggest that you call ahead without talking to Kyler Murray. You call ahead Lincoln Riley. You call ahead to other coaches he's been successful with. Remember, Kyler Murray, although short, has been very successful in football up to this point. And he's been semi-successful in the NFL. I would say semi-successful.
I don't feel like I would want to have him around, but hey, Keon, if you want to have him there, make sure there's a high chair in the conference room, but you do what you got to do.
Yeah, look, I mean, I say try with the guy that you have. You know that he has talent. Can you put a squad around him and have a guy coach him that'll bring those talents out? Maybe you can't. Maybe he is too much of a head case, but I would like to see that first before I try to trade. That's all.
The interesting thing right now is, so this report has just come out that the owner has basically said, whoever comes here, beware, you're going to get Kyler Murray. There's going to be no deals unless you can talk Bidwell into something. He's like basically saying, this is the guy, and don't show up here trying if you don't think you can do it with this guy, because we've got a contract and that is that. So that now makes it more interesting when you start thinking about Sean Payton. Is Kyler Murray a Sean Payton kind of quarterback? I mean, God bless Sean Payton, tried to make it work with Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, a whole variety of people anytime that Drew Brees got dinged up, right? So part of you says he might be, I could probably work with that if I could do these things. Or he's like, oh God, can I just once get back to having a standard good quarterback like when I had Drew Brees? So that might actually be encouragement or deterrent for Sean Payton. And I honestly don't know which way he would go with that personally.
I will say this, CBS Sports, CBSSports.com, I was reading an article on there, and they talked about potential candidates, most likely Cardinal candidates, right? They list off Ben Johnson, who's a Lions OC. They listed off Jim Harbaugh, and they listed off Sean Payton as the number one most likely Cardinal candidate. And they said that in this article, they said that Sean Payton has spent several months studying up on this team.
Well, he's probably done it for all the teams as part of what he's doing as an analyst, but also knowing he might want to get back to coaching doesn't mean he's already picked this team.
Right. But I'm just saying,
but he's on the short list of teams he bothered to look up.
And so I think he's aware of what this team has, what they can do, and what they need. And I would say at this point, I don't think Sean Payton's worried about that. I think he can. He worked with Drew Brees. Drew Brees is not a tall man. He's only like 6 foot tall.
Sean Payton's going to walk in that room swinging it around, and you know it. And he's going to flop that thing on the table and say, look at that, I'm Sean Payton. And so he's probably in that thought process. Whatever he wants to do, he's going to say, well, this is what I would like to do. And if they say, well, we're doing this, then he'd be like, well, it was nice. Thanks for the cupcakes and the drinks, but I'm going to be going now. So Sean Payton's got his own ideas.
Well,
so just because Bidwell says we're going with this quarterback and they've laid the table for him, doesn't mean he's going to eat.
Well, what about this? What about we get Sean Payton and we send Kyler Murray to New Orleans?
Well, that is going to be, between Sean Payton and Bidwell. But right now it sounds like Bidwell has put up a flag. This is our quarterback.
it is going to have to come to some version of that because it's going to be between Michael Bidwell and Sean Payton. But then at some point, do the Saints want him? Because that's the other issue is the Saints are going to want something for Sean Payton because he's still under contract.
That Michael Bidwell was going to do, sending Kyler Murray to the Saints for Sean Payton. If that was a move he was going to do, he certainly wouldn't sit there and say, and we're going to have Kyler Murray in the room during the conversations. Although we've heard owners give people votes of confidence before and fire them the next day. But this one just seems like a stretch. You didn't even have to mention Kyler Murray if that was the idea. So probably not it. Well, we haven't read one single text and we're already ready for a break. So here's what we're going to do. When we come back, starting from top to bottom, we'll get caught up on those texts and see what you guys think about all this. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brian Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Some look at some playoff games in the NFL coming up on Saturday. San Francisco is a 10-point home favorite against the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers minus 520. Seattle plus 400 over under 42.5. Also Saturday, Jacksonville in the playoffs for the first time since 2017. They're home to face the Chargers, but the Chargers are a 1.5-point road favorite, minus 120 on the money line. Jacksonville plus 102. The over-under in that game is at 47. On Sunday, Buffalo a 10.5-point favorite over Miami. Minnesota 3-point home favorite against the New York Giants. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% when you use the promo code ACTION75. Experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
The NFL is committed to being a force for good in the community. They've launched an overarching cause campaign, We See You, to help shed a light on those who are often overlooked across the country. Above all, the NFL sees the power of their platform to create and inspire real positive change in order to help those who need it most. This year, the NFL family and its 32 teams will donate more than $500 million to community impact organizations. To learn more about what the NFL is doing in your community, visit nfl.com/community.
Remember last year when you wanted to hear that NFL matchup, but you couldn't because you were at your nephew's birthday party and the Fanatic couldn't stream the NFL on their app? Didn't that suck?
Well, those days are over, pal. Now you can listen live to every primetime NFL game on the Fanatic app. Download the app now at the Google Play Store or the App Store or at 1580thefanatic.com.
That seemed to be a very brief break, didn't it? Just a little. Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Tomorrow night, you got some more of that AIA basketball. High school, Betty Fairfax versus Cactus Shadow. It's a girls' basketball game at 7 p.m. Then on Friday, the boys are in action. Scottsdale Christian taking on Mesa CC. I don't know what CC is. For my experience, Mesa CC would have been community college, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be what happens. So somebody needs to let me know what Mesa CC is. You know, is it Christian? I got nothing on the acronym there. So, but that's happening Friday at 7:30 p.m. And for your college basketball, Saturday morning at 10 a.m., we got Kentucky at Tennessee. So that's what's happening for your basketball. We got all of the wild card games this weekend figured out for you too. We'll talk more about that later. 888-368-1580. I've got a metric load of texts sitting here waiting to be read on the text line. So let's get caught up with everybody. Boogie was up. He says, hey, I'm calling it. Sean Payton as head coach and Mike Borgonzi as GM, currently assistant GM with Kansas City. for the Cardinals, Boogie? Because you didn't say. I'm going to guess that. But Sean Payton, the rumor I thought had been, Keon, that Sean Payton wanted to do both. Do you think he's going to want to bring a separate guy?
Yeah, because it's when you can be both, but I think in all likelihood, what it is Sean Payton may go the Ron Rivera route, where Ron Rivera was hired as the head coach, and then he hired the GM. So the GM basically works and reports to him, and then he makes all the final decisions, and the GM still handles all the scouting and all that other stuff. So I think that's very likely for Sean Payton, and so yeah, you could definitely see a GM if you have any connections to some personnel person that Sean Payton might actually like to work with.
Berg texts in, says, breaking news, Dan Snyder to sell the Washington Commanders per Ian Rappaport. Then he follows with, disregard Dan Snyder thing, fake Rappaport Twitter account. But he is actually selling them. You're just trying to indicate that somebody said that he'd done so. So it has not happened yet. Gotcha. He also says, fire Big George. 888-368-1580. And here's Big George. Big George says, is this why Dale Hellstray is not part of any hiring decisions at the Fanatic? Yeah, that's the reason. Mr. Pringle says, so little Kyler, and is the quarterback and the GM and coach now. Wow, Cardinals are saving some more money. Randy says, Jagdog, you're going to get a crown on the rocks for the Cardinals' effort on Sunday? That was a sarcastic comment because he's a 49ers fan.
Yes. Yeah.
He says, Randy, Taysom Hill and Sean Payton for Kyler Murray. Straight up trade. Hell yeah. Because I don't know if you've noticed the draft order. You can get you a new quarterback right now. It's right there for the taking if you want it.
Just you already have one white.
How about that Lovie Smith, huh?
How tall is the guy who's likely Stroud? Is it Stroud? How tall is Stroud? That might be worth doing right there. Jagdog, I know you're being sarcastic, but I actually like your idea. I'm not even a Cardinals fan.
CJ Stroud is 6'3".
Perfect.
I like CJ Stroud. I just
you just can't get out of your old school way of thinking. If you draft a guy in the first thing, and the paying part, that's horrible. But it seems like all you real hard-nosed sports types always go nuts when somebody wants to trade away or get rid of a first-round pick.
If the guy had shown you nothing, then get out of the pick. Get no, I'm not one of those guys. But I look
you've missed something. I don't like him. That's enough reason for me.
Okay, well then that's your reason. I happen to think that there is potential there, and I would hate to trade it away.
Say I potentially could like him. Just can't. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, if the guy hasn't shown you anything, obviously don't keep him though.
Yeah, we would take a kid there to play in the flag football when they were little or whatever, and some kid's dad is the coach. And that attitude he would give his dad, if his dad said anything, he's like, and he'd be on the sidelines pouting or crying and being like, that's who Kyler Murray reminds me of. The coach's a-hole son on the sideline of more than a few games I had to stand there and watch. That's probably why I've, got a little negativity towards him.
Well, we're learning some things about it now.
Hamilton Porter says, if Aaron Rodgers retires, just remember his last play, an interception, and his last game, a loss to that team. Guys, we're going to get to that a little bit later, but I'm going to give you the spoiler alert. Aaron Rodgers is not retiring. Even Rosalie Michaels on Twitter, she was like, well, his reluctance to trade jerseys, that right there. He says, I'm keeping this one. I think he was cold. Did you see? Boy, Dan Campbell's nose is about to come off from frostbite, and you want Aaron Rodgers to take off his jersey? He's like, yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. No, he's not retiring. He might not be a Packer, but he's not retiring. Billy Ray from Avondale says that team quit on Cliff, and he didn't have respect in the locker room. Yeah, he didn't even come close to earning it. No, where was that air raid? The air raid never showed up. False alarm offense is what we got from Cliff Kingsbury.
The air raid never showed up, but also just the Hard Knocks really just showed me a lot. And I just was looking at him in the locker room, and I saw a lot of NFL locker rooms because I've watched a lot of Hard Knocks, and guys get fired up about their coach a lot of the time, but nobody gets fired up about Cliff. Nobody has his back that way. And it just, I didn't know how long that could possibly last if nobody in the locker room is trying to go to bat for their coach.
Got bad news for you, Keon. We forget bets and stuff we've made. Like, for instance,
I didn't
Rosalie
forget.
Michaels thinks I owe her wine for something. Randy, do you remember?
No.
She got all happy and texted me on Sunday about like, well, looks like I've won the bet. I'm like, I have no idea what she's talking about. I didn't say she was wrong, but she said you were supposed to have written it down or something. And let's see, where's
I was supposed to have written it down.
she says it was a Steelers bet from preseason. She says it was how many games they would win this year. I talked about the over 7.5 futures bet that I was keying in on, and you didn't think they'd win more than 7 or 8 games. What did the Steelers end up with?
9-8.
All right, so if I made the bet, then I owe her a $35 bottle of wine because she says she wants Rombauer Chardonnay. You know, I don't remember the bet. That's the thing. So
Here we go.
she has misled me before on bets.
Yeah, Rosalie takes Pitt over 7.5 games. Jeffrey takes Pitt under 7.5. There you go.
All right, bottle of wine. So what was where did the Steelers end up as? I don't have it here in front of me.
9-8.
Mike Tomlin, you bastard. But good for him. I'm actually happy about that for him.
He every year you look at that roster, you look at the quarterback, and you go, "There's no way he can do it." And at the end of the season, he's found a way to do it. And
Yeah, this is exceptional. This right now, that's stroll into the Hall of Fame on the first day and just get your put your own bust there. You don't even have to worry about it. All right. So Booger Wolf says, all right, Keon, who's the bet winner now? My Niners went undefeated in the division. I believe you're supposed to say something every time I text in now. What were you supposed to say every time?
I was supposed to say that Booger Wolf is my hero every time he texts in.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I got it written right here. I don't forget the bets, and I pay up.
Is going to text in even more than ever now.
Oh, I'm sure.
So even when I'm reading it, you can in the background say, Booger Wolf is my hero. We don't have to stop for it every time. You just have to say it and audibly because.
Well, of course. I get it. No, look, I
what's
lost the
length?
bet.
What's the length on this? The entire off season?
It's the week.
A week.
Oh, it's 1 week?
No, I'd have never made what's the
Hey.
off season? No.
Wait a minute. I might have a loophole for you. I got to help you out here. Do you know any other languages?
Not well.
Can you find out how to say Booger Wolf is my hero in some other language? And then you say it. You never stipulated it had to be in English. That way you just hear in the background, Booger Wolf, I smoke ice, but you don't actually hear the words. I'm just saying that's a possibility. But straight up honor, yeah, you probably should do it in English.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Did you say it already?
Booger Wolf is my hero.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, no, it's
that's hard.
I
don't. That's why I don't make bets like that.
Look, I had already braced myself for this once they had beaten the Seahawks. Once they beat the Seahawks, I wasn't going to depend on the Cardinals to save my ass. I really thought the other teams in this division were going to give them a game that they couldn't win. I was not betting on the Cardinals doing it. So I've been bracing myself for this for a few hours.
Who knew that this division would turn out the way it did? Kiss the Cook says, here's my Hollywood script. Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, leads the Corny Niners to the Super Bowl, wins in front of his hometown, and retires. Boom! There's no way a 24-year-old is going to retire.
But that would be poetic, wouldn't it?
That would be the story of the century.
Just go out on top, Brock.
You know, his last words, irrelevant. And his walk off in the sunset. Of course, they're going to be like, if he'd stayed around, he probably could have got a lot of money. But okay, enjoy that rookie contract. Chris the Cook says the pipeline from college to NFL is dried up. I'd use a lot of KY before trying that again. Well, you got to do what you got to do, KY. I'm sorry. Kiss the Cook. It's going to call him KY the rest of the day. Lost Toby says,
I'm sure he's been called worst.
Lost Toby says, Bryce Young to the Colts. Betting the house on that one. Well, we can get a little deeper into that as we get closer to April. Right now, I just want a guy who can, become something and, a coach that can help him get there. I would love Sean Payton, but I just don't see him going to the Colts. I don't. And I'm not sure he's really going to be coming to the Cardinals. I mean, right now, starting to feel more and more about those Broncos. The Broncos were able to, actually put together a couple of good games there at the end of the season once they brought in a different guy to call the plays. So that becomes a more interesting thing. The Broncos paid $400,000 to redo their field for the last game of the season. They're just trying to show whoever they're trying to woo, hey, we're in this for real. We're the new owners. We're going to spend money. Come on, this is where you want to be. So that right there was just, like on the Nature Channel when the bird goes, and they're trying to like sex up the female bird who's just like not impressed. So like, and she's like, oh yeah, maybe I'll take a piece of that. And so that's what the Broncos are doing right now. So I don't know that Sean Payton to the Cardinals is not anywhere near a done deal, peoples. Jagdog says, do you think Lovie Smith knew he was getting fired and said, screw it, we're just going to win this thing and screw the Texans out of a first pick overall? To the last moment, Lovie Smith was saying at least he did not think he was going to get fired. He says, I fully expect to be here. Now, that might just be coach speak and him saying what, but he's the only person on the planet who thought he was not going to get fired was Lovie Smith.
I really
that was
thought
the only
he wasn't
person
going to get fired either. For no other reason than they hired a coach last year in David Culley, who surprisingly won more games than they were supposed to win. Then they fired him. Then they replaced him with Lovie Smith, who they also only have for 1 year. And then they fire him. Like that looks bad. If you're the Texans and you want to attract a coach worth a damn, that's not the way you do business. You do not hire a guy for a single year and fire him and then hire another guy for a single year. Because any other coach is like, so what? If I'm not 10 and a 10-win coach with you guys, you're going to fire me next year too?
Well, Lovey, there was 10 wins, just not on his team. So
it's a bad team, though.
Yeah, it was the other teams that he played.
It's like the worst team in the league.
That's how I tell things, Randy. I'd be like, oh yeah, believe me, I have a 10-win season. I mean, it wasn't my team.
Yeah,
it was the other teams playing us. There were wins. Let's not quibble. Jagdog said, thank you for that. Let's see. Pringle says, when is the Blender USFL fantasy draft? That's going to be on the 10th of never. Fish Tank says, yeah, Kyler is that kid in the Little League team playing shortstop and leading off because his dad is the coach. And when he should be playing right field, maybe batting eighth. Yep, that's Kyler Murray. Watermelon says, can we get Mike Tomlin here? He would whoop Kyler's butt into shape pretty quick. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Mike Tomlin is Pittsburgh. He's also not a butt whooper. He's more of a player coach to a point. People have a lot of respect for him, but he's been a bit permissive in some situations with the players.
Mike Tomlin, if you go out there and perform, he'll let you do whatever. And it's when you stop performing that Mike Tomlin goes from being your best friend to your worst enemy. And I think that walking that line, it's a hard line to walk, but he figures it out every time, and he gets the respect of those guys because he's consistent in how he does it. If you perform, Mike Tomlin's not on your back. If you don't, he's going to be on you from the word go. That's just how he is. And I think that it works for him and that locker room. Maybe it could work with Kyler because then it would be, look, I'm not gonna be on your case if you go out there and play. But if I think it'd be funny if Kyler Murray was quarterbacking for him and it'd be the first quarterback that makes him demonstrably, what the hell, man? Just losing his bleep on the field and having conflict. I mean, he's like, I survived Antonio Brown for a minute. What? I mean, this man coached half a season with Mason Rudolph. I feel like if you can make it through Mason and his nonsense, you can make it through anything.
Kyler's nonsense is worse, if you ask me. Let's see here. Boomer Sooner says, yeah, you can translate it. Google translate there, Keon. Pick a language. And he says, Keon does have a point. Name Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL that are a success.
I never said that. I'm actually anti that Ohio State quarterback narrative. I don't draft jerseys. I draft individuals.
I'm anti-Ohio State just because Lost Tony says, I knew this division would end up like this. Randy's Chuckle says, to rub salt and all the racing stripe in my pants because I'm Commandos fan. As I predicted this season, Jags and Lions had better record than the Commandos. Just saying, Neon Keon.
Yeah, the Jags I did not see coming. But the Lions were better by what, a game? Like it's not like you predicted. You're making it seem like you knew your team was going to be 10-win juggernaut, and although the lowly Commandos were going to have 3 wins, like they're pretty close. Could have gone either way in a lot of those games too.
I'm getting translations in Spanish if you're interested. For Booger Wolf is.
No, I'll just say it in English. I don't care.
No, I mean, just as an option. El Lobo Booger es mi hero.
Might do that if I get bored saying it.
That's actually pretty good. El Lobo Booger es mi hero. Try it, Keon. Say it with it. El
Lobo Booger es mi hero.
El Lobo Booger es mi hero.
Write it down. I'm not going to remember that.
That's too close to English. We need something like. I'm gonna type in Chinese. Let's see what happens.
Oh boy.
Chinese. You have any look with any Chinese there?
I might be able to do some Japanese just from the sheer amount of anime I've watched in my life.
Oh, okay. Here's Japanese. In Japanese, are you ready? El Lobo Booger es mi hero.
That sounds like Spanish.
No, I know, but I put in Japanese
and it just didn't update.
It was not interested. It's still giving it to me. El Lobo.
That sounds
Booger
nothing
es
like
mi
Japanese
hero.
language.
Yeah, you're gonna have to translate it. I guess it ain't working on my end. Let's see here. Booger Wolf says, "What a glorious time, boys! Niner Empire on the way to a dominant postseason. Randy, pour me a brew to salute my Niners, helping your Cardinals out there. You wizard foot bastard."
You're welcome, Keon. Anything you want to say?
Yeah.
Booger Wolf is my hero.
There you go.
Historian says 3 things this year. 1, Aaron Rodgers walks away. 2, new coach for Cardinals. 3, Kyler Murray traded to the Colts. Stop. Okay, see, you had credibility till there. Plus a draft pick to the Colts. Cardinals win the Super Bowl. All right, maybe I've had too much Jamesons, he says. I think he means 23-24. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers not walking away. Of course, you're going to get a new coach for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's probably not getting traded anywhere. And Cardinals will still not win a Super Bowl next year.
Aaron Rodgers has got 60 million reasons why he should come back and play one more season. 60 million.
And think
about
got
that
a bunch of millions in the bank where he doesn't have to.
You can always use more millions if you're Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, believe me, I know. But at some point, enough is enough.
Look, everybody likes money, including people who already have a lot of money.
Florida Mustard says Kyler is that kid who's never gotten his ass whooped. You know what I mean? Somebody just needs to beat his ass, humble him a little bit.
But
nothing straightens you out more than getting punched in the face. Well, that's gone a little farther than probably, but yeah, I hear you.
I understand the anger and venom for Kyler Murray. It was a bad season. I say hit the reset button. Let's see how this thing plays out in the offseason and what this team does. That's what I say. Everybody just relax for a minute.
Yeah, we just remember that I'm the one who said and got you weren't here. Or Keon went flash anger on me when I said if I came in as a GM, I would immediately fire Kingsbury and trade away Kyler Murray and use this draft pick to get the next quarterback. Do a complete reset, and it's not a rebuild; it's a reset because you still have some of the other pieces, but then you're going to need more pieces. So I'm just saying. Keon lost his mind when I said that. He lost his mind as if he was afraid I might actually have the power to do it.
Well, no. First off, one of my favorite things when it comes to football is like putting together rosters and like examining how that stuff gets done. And I love listening to general managers talk about how that stuff works. And what you just said just blew my mind so completely and entirely. I melted down.
Yeah,
you did. The circuit's fried.
You straight up did, but I stand by that. I would absolutely do that. But, excuse me. I ate some almonds. You ever do that? When you eat the almonds and like a little fleck of almonds just finds its way to the back of your throat.
I can never eat almonds. If I intend to speak afterwards, I don't eat almonds.
What is with that?
I don't know why, but they make my mouth feel dry. I can't do it.
Huh. Anyway, sorry about that. What were we saying? Oh, Kyler is a cancer, says Florida Mustard. Harry Soap says, I find it incredible that where I looking to find someone who needs to tell Kyler Murray that right now, Mr. Irrelevant's a better quarterback than you are. Put the video games away, prepare mentally, be a leader, and be worth this massive contract you need to live up to.
If you put Brock Purdy on this team, he would die.
Damn, Harry Soap. Well, it's not even about that, Keon. He's talking about bringing in a coach who will actually speak real stuff to him and say, they got a guy on the 49ers who was the last person drafted in the draft. You were the first person drafted in the draft, and you need to put the video games away, prepare mentally, be a better leader, and be worthy of this massive contract you need to live up to.
Which that I agree to. Yeah. But I wouldn't say
Next on 60 Minutes.
If you come in and say Brock Purdy's better than you, I think you lose him because that's insane.
Hey, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy is better than you. God, I hope he's listening. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
As a Walgreens pharmacist, I talk with people all the time about little tips and tricks for filling their Medicare prescriptions, like taking advantage of Walgreens 90-day refills to save them a trip, or using Refill by Scan, which is super easy and right on your phone. And for anybody worried about prescription costs, I say, hey, we got you with low-cost copays on many medications.
Let's talk about making things easier. Walgreens is here. Fill your way and save at walgreens.com/Medicare. See pharmacists for restrictions and exclusions.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs.
I never really thought about tools until I bought a house in the suburbs. It's like this weird homeowner test if I need a tool for a project and don't have it. And my neighbor Ted loves to give me that look when I ask to borrow a pole saw. A year ago, I didn't even know pole saws existed. And now I gotta borrow one from Ted? What is happening?
Anyway, when you save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto, that's the easy part of adjusting to the suburbs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in.
The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best. Tee it up at the 2023 WM Phoenix Open, presented by Taylor Morrison, February 6th through 12th at TPC Scottsdale. Get full tournament information at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
That's WMPhoenix.com.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now, or right now, or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
I'm saying if we're going to let the doctors and drug dealers have ads that discourage people from going to real drug dealers, I think there should be counter ads, kind of with political advertising.
Well, I 100% agree, but
I think the regular drug dealers aren't getting a fair shake on this.
We're live.
Oh, hey, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and all right, we are still trying to clear through the text about Cliff Kingsbury, Steve Keim, and whatever else. And of course, we're going to try to get through all of the games that happened over the weekend. We have an extra half hour to do it because there's no more Monday Night Football. So we are on the radio until 6 p.m. today. Now, next week, we get a temporary redo because wild card weekend, super duper wild card weekend. So there'll be a Monday night game, between the Cowboys and Tampa Bay. But yes, our free ride is coming to an end, and it's sad for me too.
But just take a moment and ponder that.
Just take a very brief moment because there's good days ahead.
Is there? Yes.
It's called March Madness.
Mm.
We won't just get half hours off.
All right.
We're going to get entire days off.
All right. I'm with you on this one. Okay.
Man, and if they expand the playoffs someday, we might get all of March
I mean,
off.
just
I don't know.
all of a
Just
sudden
think
that 90 team tournament doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, so I'm saying, Keon, you might want to get with the program here. All right, let's continue with the text line. Hook'em Hottie says, I knew the Cardinals would suck the minute they did Hard Knocks. It's the Hard Knocks curse. Also, I can give you a Hebrew translation if you want for Booger Wolf is my hero. Well, please do. I'd just like to see that out of curiosity. Hard Knocks is not necessarily a curse, but it's just more of a, it's just more of a symptom of a bad sickness, because they don't show up on your doorstep if you've got a great team. They show up on your doorstep if you got a team that's kind of in trouble. That's why it's called Hard Knocks.
Have the Patriots ever been on Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
They have?
Mm-hmm.
When?
What about the Chiefs? Have they been on Hard Knocks?
Have the Chiefs been on Hard Knocks?
Not with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think a pre-Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes Chiefs.
What about the who else has been on the Hard Knocks that I can't think? Who has
Bill
Tampa Bay?
Parcells,
Has Tampa Bay
Cowboys
been on the
were?
Hard Knocks?
Tampa's been on, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, but pre Tom Brady.
Yeah, pre Tom Brady, but the Bills, Parcells, Cowboys were on.
What
there.
about the Sea Chickens? Maybe they need to go on Hard Knocks for a couple of seasons in a row.
Not this year.
Maybe the 49ers need to be on the damn Hard Knocks.
Oh, definitely not this year. Heavy Metal Maniac says, well, I wish I hadn't bragged about the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, my God, they looked awfully yesterday. I'm going to retract everything. They're probably going out in the first round. They sucked so much yesterday. Yeah, they absolutely did. And this is exactly what I said would happen.
Tried to warn you.
Well, I mean, the president, CEO, owner, and GM had this to say about that. We're going to have to suck on that loss all week, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. That's who's in charge.
Yeah.
Pugman55 says, Jeffrey, who would you want as the Colts quarterback? Somebody good. I mean, I can't even speculate this right now because a lot's going to happen between now and April. So we'll talk about that more as we get closer. Florida Mustard says, yeah, Kyler's the cancer. Tiger Paws, she says, so I wonder what'll happen if during the first several games with the new coach and the backup quarterback, everything goes well, and then Kyler comes back to start and everything starts to go south again. I think Kyler has the big yips from those even little sacks he's gotten. Well, that's the thing I'm worried about is, well, I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead. Was that Randy?
I was just going to say, I don't think Kyler is a cancer. I think that's the wrong characteristic. I think Kyler is a diva, not a cancer. I think he's a diva. I think he's a spoiled diva.
Like when you talk about cancer, like Terrell Owens, a guy that went from team to team and just destroyed it and went to another one. That's a cancer to me.
The point that was trying to come out of my brain was if Kyler comes back and he stinks, there goes your chance to have traded him for something. Beer Nut says, who'd want to trade for Kyler Murray? Oh, believe me. There are teams out there probably seriously thinking about Frank
I would
Reich.
trade for Kyler today.
Can you make sure the Cardinals know that?
I mean, I don't have any power in Washington, but
No,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
no, there's
listen,
there are plenty of teams where he would be an upgrade over the quarterback situation.
He would be a good fit with Ron Rivera in the Commandos, wouldn't he? Because Ron Rivera had Cam Newton, didn't he?
He did, and they're a power running football team, so it's not like we're going to.
Ron Rivera had actual cancer. He can handle Kyler Murray.
Damn.
After Kyler Murray leaves, do you start ringing the bell? Ding ding.
Oh my God.
Wow. Boogie says, hey guys, don't be sad or upset, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Have faith, Boogie. You guys looked great yesterday.
Yeah. Good job, Boogie.
Last Optimist says Kyler Murray has a huge cap hit. Any trade has to be for players with a similar cap hit. You know, I get that, but it's just money. Part of my formula, which also made Keon's brain start to ooze out of his tear ducts when I was saying it, was you got $230 million on Kyler Murray. But if you go draft a guy right now and you keep paying Kyler Murray, but now you got this draft pick for a rookie minimum or whatever, that kid starts to play well. Just imagine in your head, you're paying the $230 million for the guy who's winning for you. That way it doesn't feel so bad.
But now,
I think that is a masterful idea. Who cares at the end?
They
The pile is how much the pile is. As long as you're getting what you wanted to get out of it, who cares who's getting it?
because that's a roster spot you could use for literally anybody else.
Like a
Instead,
kicker?
one, or you got the third pick in the draft right now. How about Jalen Carter, the defensive lineman who's going to be playing tonight in the national title game? You instead of having that guy, you now have one guy, either Kyler or the new dude, on the sideline holding a clipboard where he cannot help you.
I am sleeping well tonight knowing that the Arizona Cardinals aren't going to take a quarterback, and the Colts get the best of whatever's left. Whatever the Texans don't get, that's what we get. And I'm okay with that. I'm just saying what I would do if I was suddenly in charge. And I'm not sure if that's going to, by the way, although I think the listeners should probably know this, full disclosure, Randy, Keon, and I have both been invited to interview for the Broncos head coach. They are interviewing everybody.
They're casting a very wide net.
I am not going to give you the list. It's too long to mention. It's just way, way too long. The only person not being interviewed by the Broncos is Izzy on the morning show, and that's just because he refuses to do anything for anybody other than the Bears. So, fair enough.
Yeah, I think with them, that do it. Have the due diligence, figure it out, because you don't want two Nathaniel Hackett's in a row. That can't happen.
Kyler Murray is. I can't see now. There's a picture here. Mecula. What? I'm maybe not going to read that just for fear you're going to try and make me say something in another language. Booger Wolf says my Niners are going to completely destroy Ralphie's crap hawks on Saturday. Niner Empire. Brock and Kittle going to eat some bird burgers.
I'm going to try this in the German now.
Okay.
Popelwolf ist mein Held.
Did you say Booger Wolf?
That's what the Popelwolf is.
That actually translated. Everything else I've seen, Booger Wolf just comes out Booger Wolf.
No, Popelwolf.
Oh, Popelwolf. So Popel is booger in German.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You learned something there.
Yeah.
Like I say, you got a little Popel right there. Tron Slater says, I say let the Cardinals move out of Arizona. I've watched this team since 1988. I have witnessed more horrible football seasons and playoff games. This franchise since 1920 has sucked. Sorry, Randy.
Yeah, but it's our team. It's our team. And if they move, we don't have an NFL team anymore. We no longer get a Super Bowl that comes here. We no longer have, a connection to the NFL. I mean,
maybe somebody else shows up. I don't know. Lost Toby says, if you don't get in their car and drive around the block at least once, is he even a real drug dealer? Is it weird that my doctor likes to drive me around?
That's true.
It's true. Historian says Cowboys need to be on a Hard Knocks regular, I think. Let's see here. Fifth letter says, Jeffrey. What? You guys realize that your texts, there's like tons of texts, and if I don't respond to your text right away, it just means I haven't seen it yet. But he says Derek Carr and Hunter Renfrow for the Colts' first round pick. No.
That was easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to think about that. Boomer Sooner says nobody's gonna take Kyler until he's well. Last Optimist says, good news. You don't have a $10 million cap hit for JJ Watt next year. Bad news. The first of his 3 canceled contract years hits, and Cardinals are paying $8 million to JJ without even filling a roster slot. Damn.
Yeah, been a lot of questionable to poor business decisions on this team, hasn't there?
Lost Toby says, speaking of betting, I lost a 7-leg parlay on the Jets 3.5. What a bad beat. $5 to make 140, and I lost to a walk-off safety.
Yeah.
Tiger Paws says, yeah, I know he was basically a free agent because everybody dumped him. New texter on the text line says, Randy would rather feel pain than not feel anything at all. 5693, you need a texter nickname there, buddy, or Budette. I don't know who you are. Heavy Metal Maniac says, whoever was talking garbage about the Cardinals is an idiot. They won a championship in 48 with the right GM and the right coach. They're not so far away.
An astute observation, my friend.
Something tell me that might be sarcasm. I'm not sure. All right, we are going to take a break because it's the end of the hour. The second hour is what happens after this part. Is the way things work here. Should I draw a diagram?
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Football fans, call your own plays during the NFL playoffs with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Hi, Randy from the Blender. When you bet the NFL same-game parlays from now through January 16th, all customers can get up to $150 back in free bets, win or lose. All you have to do is place your total of $20 or more on NFL same-game parlays or same-game parlay plus bets during the wild card round. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a larger payday. New to FanDuel, you can get up to $1,000 back in free bets, win or lose, when you sign up with my promo code Randy1580. That's promo code Randy1580, and make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You've got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Max free bet $100. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
As a kids, we all loved hopping on our bikes and hitting the road.
I'll be back for dinner. See ya.
Well, bikes just got reinvented for us big kids. If you haven't tried an electric bike, you have no idea what you're missing. Hit the road, the trails, or the beach by pedaling or not pedaling.
It's like being a kid all over again.
Start with the best. Hemingway e-bikes are the best fat tire electric bikes sold. Since 2017, Hemingway is known for durability, price, safety, and fun. Hemingway is the long-range e-bike experts, taking you faster and farther on a single charge. Hemingway sells direct to the consumer, ships right to your home, and has over 2,000 five-star reviews. Choose from 7 models, all with an unprecedented 2-year warranty. Find out why over 50,000 customers call Hemingway the best e-bike there is. Go to HemingwayEbike.com. That's HIMIWAY ebike.com. Now save up to $250 with promo code FANATIC. Go to HemingwayEbike.com.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K2560 Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So we are done with the regular season of the NFL. We have talked about the fact that Cliff Kingsbury has been fired and Steve Keim has gone away, and it's a whole new day for the Arizona Cardinals, and it's a blank slate. So looking forward to that, but we do have to still wrap up one thing that has to do with the regular season, and that was the Week 18 picks contest winner. That's right. The Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest still in effect, and congratulations, Supermex 2020. You won the week with 14 right. Not bad. Yeah, that was a stellar outing for Supermex 2020. He'll get his jersey of his choice, and let's go over to the standings right now and see how things are going. Let me just say this: you are all so far behind me, it's sad.
Okay,
it just got sadder and sadder. I'm not sure. I might have it wrong on Randy, but here's what I show. I have 179 correct. I got 11 right this week. Randy, you got 10 right this week, and you now have 157.
How about that?
Keon, you got 2 right this week, and so now you have 134. What happened there? You just forget to do your picks?
Yeah, I was watching the games and I was like, oh, let me check and see what picks I have so I can figure out who to root for. And I was like, oh, bleep.
Yeah.
So I did the
bleep.
picks for what was left of the day that wasn't locked.
So you got like 2 out of 10 or what?
Bleepity bleeping.
So I got 2 out of like 4 or 5.
Ralph got 10 right. So he's 1 right behind you, Randy. He's got 156 to your 157. So that is where things are. Now, if I look over at the big standings, there has not been any movement in the top 3. I really thought that I was going to plummet. I thought this was going to be a bad week for me, but I guess Matt Gruber and Dirty Rat are still ahead. Matt Gruber has 182 correct. Dirty Rat has 181. I'm right there with 179. After me, there's Horn Ninja with 176. Random Texter. He's been doing pretty well this year, 175. They look down, Hefty Lefty has got 174, and some other people whose nicknames on there you probably don't recognize. They're not Texter names, but like I said, it ain't been a normal year for picks. I'm shocked that I even see myself there. By the way, our new texter here on the text line, Air Bear. I don't know. They say, yeah, that nickname is pretty dated. You can call me Bandwagoner. So wait, if you're Air Bear, why am I changing it to Bandwagoner? So what do you say, Randy? It's AIRBEAR.
Yeah.
It's not from Air Bear. It used to be the other one. Wait, you think that's that guy?
Yeah, maybe.
It's not that guy. It's a 928 area code.
Okay. All right.
It would be the ex co-host or
no, not the ex co-host. No.
One of his friends?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Air Bear. Any connection to a former co-host on this?
But it's Air, not EH. It's AIR.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, do we have a Bandwagoner already?
I thought we did, but let's go with Bandwagoner.
Well, no, I mean, I should probably look that up and be sure. Don't want to give away somebody else's name. And isn't Ralph Bandwagoner really?
Just, in reality, that as a description of who he is as a
person. It's one of
yes.
his characteristics to be a bandwagoner.
Yep, there's nobody called Bandwagoner, so I guess we can give it to him.
All right.
Enough of that. Good guy Cat says, guys, do you think Dingleberry will land another NFL job? No. Maybe the Broncos or Panthers. No.
There's only one place in the league stupid enough to hire him, and it's Houston.
And even that, no. Nobody's hiring.
The CBS Sports report has.
There are dumb people working everywhere.
There's a disproportionate. Okay, let me not say that. The people in Houston the stupid people have more power in the Houston Texans organization than anywhere else.
The stupid people are in control in Houston.
They used to launch rockets from there. How did that happen?
They still do, but the people who own the football team, none of them are going to be launching any rockets anytime soon.
Oh, Bandwagoner says it was Air Bear. He says, I picked the name to annoy that last co-host, but I have no connection to that person. All right, well, you're Bandwagoner now because I looked it up. Nobody else is Bandwagoner. So welcome back. You. Harry Soap says someone delivered Kingsbury's offense to the Lions. Lions will be in the playoffs before the Cardinals next season, probably. Lions are looking like they're on the right track, aren't they? If Dan Campbell's nose survives the frostbite he obviously got last night. He was ripping snot. His nose was just about to come off of his face. Man, he did not take the cold very well, did he?
Poor guy.
Usually, what's his name? Jared Goff does not play well outside in cold weather, but they were able to get it done.
They played well enough, but he still missed some throws that were just guys caught it. But if he had thrown it where he was supposed to, we're talking about running catch for 5 or 6 more yards afterwards.
Yeah. I think, that is something that he's going to have to work being able to play when it's cold. What a weird thing to have to do. Because my wife even says, well, you always say that the cold doesn't affect these guys. I don't think it does most players. It affects that guy quite a bit. But a lot of players grew up in a lot of different places. Just because the team is from Buffalo doesn't mean they're all great at playing in the cold. But
where's Jared Goff from? California. He's Cal
sure.
Golden Bear. So it's just and look at him. He looks like a surfer. I mean, he's completely California, and I think that's
I didn't say it was universal that most people could play most places. Goff is, I think, the exception to that.
I agree.
A lot of people can play in a lot of places. Baby Got Dax says, hi, guys. Randy, Jeffrey, at least you guys have a glimmer of hope for a better 23-24 season. As for me, she's a Cowboys fan. I've already added a large bottle of Patron to my shopping list as Dallas looked like hot garbage yesterday against Keon's Commandos.
Yeah.
Brady is 7-0 against Dallas. The league decides to flex this game into Monday night. And the way things are going, Gronk's probably going to come out of retirement this week and sign with Tampa.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's playing out like I suspected, and I feel bad. Because I like Dak Prescott. He's a good dude. He doesn't get in trouble. He's trying to do his best with the team Dak. To be a leader. I don't feel like Dak is a douchebag at all. I think he's a genuinely a good guy. But man, he is overpaid and overrated. I am so tired of hearing about how good Dak Prescott is.
Good for him. He stole Jerry Jones's money. Good for him.
Well, good for him. Yeah. The thing with Dak is, I think that he is a really good quarterback. And if he had the right coach, that person could elevate him. But he's not the guy that bails out the coach. It has to be the other way around.
Hear me out. You trade Kyler Murray to the Dallas Cowboys for Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I don't know that you fix anything for the Cardinals.
No.
It's not about the Cardinals. It's about me. 888-368-1580. Boogie says, can I change my nickname for 1 week to the Lions wide receiver DJ Chark? No, you can't, Boogie. Kiss the Cook says, you can use his twin, Grayson Nutshot. My alter ego was Dirty Grayson.
Grayson Nutshot.
Do you actually have a burner phone number on here that says that?
Is that a reference to Grayson Allen?
Who else
by any
could
chance?
It possibly be? That's the first person that came to my mind, Randy.
Good Cat says, Jeffrey, as a fellow Colts fan, I'd be okay with the Texans hiring Dingleberry. It's a good point. No, I take it back. I hope the Texans hire Cliff. Nobody's that stupid.
Sorry, Randy. I promise you the Houston Texans are that stupid.
Yeah. In my hand,
I've got a coach like David Culley, and he wins like 6 games for you, and he wasn't supposed to even win 3, and then you fire him. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Nothing they do makes sense.
I have every single game that happened this weekend right here in my hand. I do believe we can get through it if we try. Before we do that, though, briefly, just want to talk about the sad state of sports in the great state of Arizona.
Oh, no.
ASU basketball, not sad. They won both their games.
Yes.
ASU beat both Washington State and Washington. And at the same time, Arizona was not able to beat Washington State. So suck on that, Wild Kitties. Then the Suns. Oh, dear, sweet Jesus. They've just lost 6 in a row. They play the Warriors. It's tomorrow night. And
it'll be 7 in a row after that one. They've fallen below 500 now for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, this is bad. It's so bad. I got a text from Ralph, and he's showing me, he's like, 1 more Laker win. I'm like, oh, crap. And it turns out the Lakers need only 1 more win for 6 in a row, and they got the Nuggets next. That's who they beat handily last time they played.
Well,
and I'm going to have to give Ralph some damn whiskey or something.
I don't think you will. I think the Nuggets will win this game. I have a feeling. So we'll
I
have
hope
to
you're
wait
right.
and see.
I hope you're right. Did I read Ralph's text earlier? Ralph says this bandwagoners team is in the playoffs. All right. Okay, Ralph. Ralph, okay.
Whatever, Ralph.
The Coyotes have lost 5 in a row, and they got the Sharks next. Then GCU, they split their Texas trip. Sam Houston with the W, SF Austin with an L. Next up, UT Arlington. So, at least our college teams are doing okay. ASU's doing okay, and so is GCU.
Even the loss to Stephen F. Austin, respectable loss. That's a really good Stephen F. Austin team. You know, they've got a better record than GCU. They're a tough squad.
Baker's Cocky Hen says LeBron is not playing tonight, Jeffrey. Is that supposed to make me happy, or is
well,
that
it makes it
worse?
more likely that the Lakers will lose.
You sure?
Yes.
Oh,
LeBron, like people like to hate on LeBron, but when he doesn't play, they suck more. So I don't know what to tell you. LeBron's selfish and he's all in it for the stats. Well, you know what? The stats are getting you numbers that are actually contributing to your wins. So I don't know how much I would go ahead and hate that. But when LeBron's not out there, team looks lost.
Yeah. That makes me happy. Let's see. Lost Toby says, let's go Sharks. Bandwagoner says, I'm getting some vibes from Kyler. Same vibes from Kyler and DA. Kyler and DeAndre Ayton? I don't think. No, I don't think so. DeAndre Ayton has expressed some frustration, but I don't get pouty little bastard vibes from DeAndre Ayton.
And whenever DeAndre Ayton, gets into it with Monty, anytime he's asked about it, it's like, no, I got to apologize to him. I shouldn't have said that or done that. I don't think you get that out of Kyler, because I don't think Kyler thinks he does anything wrong.
No, not same vibes at all. And both of them have kind of lost their cool with each other a little bit here and there. And after cooler heads prevail, DeAndre Ayton is what you want him to be. Kyler Murray, well, he just goes off, plays Call of Duty, and erases his social media. So not same vibes at all, if you ask me. 888-368-1580. So let's go. We're going in order. All the games that were played right here, right now. Are you ready? Kansas City Chiefs, as expected, beat the Raiders 31-13 to get the top seed in the AFC. And it just wasn't even close. Man, I feel bad for the Raiders fans. Here's this question. There's been no scuttlebutt about Josh McDaniels getting fired. He sat down old Derek Carr. They gave up on the season, and yet they're 6-10. Just whatever they are,
6-11.
Yeah, so they're 6-11. So what's going to happen there? Well, they're just going to let him go another year.
I have a feeling that you said it before. Mark Davis is a long-suffering head or owner. And I think he's willing to give McDaniels the benefit of the doubt. If he has a better season next year, then it will secure him even more. I think this is his first swing at it. It wasn't his team. Now he's got to assemble his team through the draft and free agency, and we'll see what happens.
So I'm looking at the draft sheet, which, by the way, I'm going to have in my hand like for the next 6 months. Houston's going to want a quarterback. Indianapolis is going to want a quarterback. I don't think Denver will, or will they? Will they want a quarterback? Rams won't want a quarterback. So Vegas is in the 7th pick there. They'll want a quarterback. Do you think Josh McDaniels has eyeballed his new quarterback of the future, and they're looking to maybe trade off Derek Carr to get some supporting cast?
I think so, because you don't bench your starting quarterback, a guy that's well respected in the locker room like Derek Carr is, mid-season like that, unless you're just moving on. You're just done with the guy. Now, I don't think that that's right. I think that even if you wanted to move on, there was a better way to handling that. But the way that it was handled shows me that they're ready to move on from Carr, and they're sitting at that 7th spot, which means that they could be in range for Will Levis.
Sporting News has this as far as the Raiders draft pick. In their estimation, the Raiders will go with Jordan Addison, a wide receiver out of USC, which could also, they write here on the Sporting News, it could also be attractive to getting Tom Brady to join up with Josh McDaniels' reunion in free agency.
That'll be figured out before the draft, though. And Randy, you got to be careful. A lot of like CBS, ESPN, everybody on the planet is going to have these who they think. It's all just speculation. The truth is always much more bizarre than what we can imagine.
Yes,
so
it is.
I don't put any more credibility into what they think might happen as I would say Keon. That was a compliment for Keon. Right?
Yeah, no, I'll take it.
And it probably didn't sound like one.
It didn't, but I understand what you meant. Yeah.
Let's see. We have a new texter here on the text line. 6592 says Cardinals never fail to be a mess of a franchise. Now the same person said the same thing earlier today as their very first text in the midday show. So I don't know if this is a bot or a real person. If you're a real person, thanks for listening and welcome to the program. Hefty Lefty says, I've been pleasantly surprised by the recent 5-game win streak of the Lakers. But I'm pretty interested in seeing how they come out of this week. Tough 3-game stretch with Denver, Dallas, and Philly. As long as they don't go 0-3, it's going to be an okay week. Well, because Hefty Lefty is a Lakers fan. Did you know that?
Oh, yes, that's right.
He's reasonable, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not one of those, complete homers about it. He's not like Ralph when it comes to
that breakdown he just gave. Solid.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Josh McDaniels is such an idiot. He might draft Caleb Williams, only to realize he's not even eligible yet. Ralph Marmon Solar says Tom Brady will come to the Raiders next year, which is why Josh McDaniels is not leaving. They have history, and that'll help him get him. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Gronk come out of retirement and be a Raider next year as well.
Boy, wouldn't that be something?
I think Gronk's
It'd be
done.
weird. It'd be weird to see Tom Brady in a Raider uniform. And outside of Devontae Adams, do they have enough wide receivers to make Tom Brady happy? Enough really good wide receivers in there on the Raiders.
I don't know who the texter was that mentioned Jordan Addison, but you at sitting at 7, you can get a receiver to pair with Devontae Adams and give another weapon there.
Wasn't the texter? It was me.
Oh, sorry, Randy.
No, that's okay.
Didn't mean to snatch your credit away.
No, that's okay. Sorry. You go ahead. You go ahead with your bad self.
But Jordan Addison would be an option there, but there would be plenty of options in the first round, I think, for this draft. So it wouldn't be impossible to get somebody to pair with Devontae and then go after Brady.
All right. So we'll see. I think it's funny. Some of the coaches that get fired this week, you're going to be like, wow, they didn't need to fire that guy. And Josh McDaniels just sitting there comfy. We're going to be like, oh, they should have fired that guy. Ralph, I don't know if I can agree with you on the old Tom Brady thing. Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, if the Colts get Derek Carr, are you going to start wearing eyeliner? No, I'm going to start wearing a new uniform. I probably I'm going to quit. I will give up all hope on my Colts. I don't know. I'll probably have to take some time off and just be with myself for a while. Baby Got Dak says if McVay decides to leave, I'd think Stafford would be on the move too. And then the Rams may take a quarterback.
I actually read today that Matthew Stafford said that regardless of whatever Sean McVay does, he's not leaving LA. So just put that there. I don't think that
whole story is crazy. I mean, you just won a Super Bowl last year. You have a bad year, and Sean McVay's like thinking of going off and doing, I don't know what his problem is. I don't know what anybody's problem is. I just feel like it's all of it's kind of a knee-jerk reaction. And if it's all true, it's very surreal. That one doesn't make sense at all. You know, maybe McVay just doesn't want to be a coach anymore. I don't know. Billy from Phoenix says, so happy to have Dingleberry no longer hanging on a thread of butt hair there. It's very graphic, but yes, I think a lot of people are happy.
Yep.
It's almost not real, isn't it, Randy? Because you now have this sigh of relief. You are free of Keim. You are free of Dingleberry. And now you got to see, okay, well, come on, Mr. Bidwell, please get it right. Come on, we can do this. And you see what the future of the Cardinals is. Kind of exciting, right?
I mean, I'm very excited. It's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. What I don't want to happen, this would be my nightmare scenario, Vance Joseph to become the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. We don't want Vance Joseph to be the next head coach of this team. I know, I hear you, Big George, but look up what he's done as a head coach. It's something like 11-28 or something like that, some weird number. It's not a conducive head coaching opening for Vance Joseph. He could go be the Houston Texans coach. Go see you, Vance. I liked your defense sometimes. Hey, bye. It's new and fresh.
So poor Randy, if that happens, he's gonna I think I'm just gonna go be on my own for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't think about things. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll get back to the text line. Lots of people with lots to say. And I can't wait for this one. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Brady owes the Raiders a Super Bowl. # Tuck Rule. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
As a Walgreens pharmacist, I talk with people all the time about little tips and tricks for filling their Medicare prescriptions, like taking advantage of Walgreens 90-day refills to save them a trip, or using Refill by Scan, which is super easy and right on your phone. And for anybody worried about prescription costs, I say, hey, we got you with low-cost copays on many medications.
Let's talk about making things easier. Walgreens is here. Fill your way and save at walgreens.com/Medicare. See pharmacists for restrictions and exclusions.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in.
The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best. Tee it up at the 2023 WM Phoenix Open, presented by Taylor Morrison, February 6th through 12th at TPC Scottsdale. Get full tournament information at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
That's WMPhoenix.com.
It's time once again for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. First prize is $1,580 from Harmon Solar. Second prize, a Zebra e-bike from Hemingway. And $500 third prize from Harmon Solar. Sign up today. Go to 1580thefanatic.com. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. From your home for the NFL in the Valley. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Monday as we are cruising to 6 o'clock tonight. I know, kind of weird, but it's because there's no more Monday Night Football. Sorry, Jeffco. But this weekend is Wild Card Weekend, and the easiest way to get into the playoffs is with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Now, listen up. If you don't have the FanDuel Sportsbook right now, you are a new customer. Join today and get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with my promo code Randy1580. Cards Chappie was in town this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me that he signed up on the FanDuel and he placed a few bets. And you should have heard the excitement in his voice when he was working a parlay, his first parlay, and he missed it by one. So close. But anyway, he's having a blast with FanDuel. You can too. FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from the money line to point spreads to player props. Plus, you can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout, just like Cards Chappie did. With the same game parlay, it's all in an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Football fans, don't miss out. Place your first $5 bet to get $150 back in free bets now. Win or lose with my promo code Randy1580. That's only on FanDuel Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expires 14 days after you get them. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Thank you, Randy. Hook'em Hottie now has the Hebrew, version of Booger Wolf is my hero.
All right.
You ready?
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Zeev Bogar Kuhagebor Shell.
No, you got to get a in there somewhere.
But I don't know where the goes in.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
gotta
she's
get
saying
a
she doesn't know how to tell us how to pronounce it.
How is it again? Maybe I can help you with the.
Let me give you what it's spelled out.
All right.
Zeev Bogar Kuhagebor
You think,
Borchell.
hoo-ha. That's your.
I don't know if you're putting the in the right place.
No, it's just hoo-ha.
We might not have to get her on the
seems
phone.
like excessive.
No, you
Yeah.
got to get a lot of that phlegm in there. That's the right way to do it. You get the hoo-ha.
Because it's obvious in chutzpah where it's supposed to go.
Chutzpah.
So
See?
anywhere there's an H is involved. So
Hoo-ha.
Steve Bogar.
See?
We need her to do it because we're probably aggravating many Jewish people right now.
That's why I tried to choose languages I was kind of familiar with.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
Well, I like
or ones that they won't put us like in the same at the same table, like say Mel Gibson or something. I don't need that in my life. I've got a great track record here, and I don't need it sullied. So,
what does Sully Sullenberger have to do with our track record?
You know damn well. 888-368-1580. All right, we got to get back to these games. When we get the rest of these texts, Choro says, "I thought the Raiders were cash poor. Can they move on? Really? Yeah, if somebody wants to trade." Hefty Lefty says, "Do receivers even want to be drafted by the Raiders anymore? Isn't that a threat to livelihood nowadays?" Yeah. Lost Toby says, "Brady to the Raiders, Carr to the Colts, Jimmy to the Jets, Rodgers to the Niners, Cardinals keep their quarterback, Lance to Green Bay. You heard it here first."
Lance.
0% of that's going to come true.
Lance?
Trey Lance.
Oh.
Tiger Paw says, "McVay said he's thinking about starting a family and he wants to spend more time with his family. And looking from it, that prospect, he's not sure he's going to do yet. By the way, if that's the thing, you can have a family and work too. Just show him the movie Working Girl." Bandwagoner says, Brady can't win without Giselle's Brazilian witchcraft. Do you think that's it? Is she a witch?
I don't think so.
But see, a good witch would know how to hide that from people.
I guess.
If Giselle was a witch, his penis would have dropped off his body probably a few months ago.
Oh, I don't think so.
Harry Soap says, "Admit it, we're going to miss Kingsbury on the sidelines wearing sunglasses on a cloudy day, as in yesterday's game. Who does that? GQ magazine died in the 90s. Come on, man." Lost Toby says, 0%, 0. So you're saying there's a chance. I'm not saying one of those things wouldn't happen, but all of them, no, there's no way they'd all happen. All right, can we get back to the games, please?
Yes.
Let's see here. Jaguars won the AFC South. That makes me want to just throw up all over the camera and take a 9-day nap.
Why?
That's my division.
Well, I know it's your division, but your team they were not relevant. And the Jaguars.
I don't like the Jaguars being relevant. I don't like the Titans. The Titans should have been the dominant force there. At least that would have made me feel like, the Titans. But I hate this. I hate it.
I can understand that. I can.
I don't.
Understand it.
I don't.
My wife started cheering for the 49ers the other day. I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't even know what that is. Anyway, yeah, Jaguars beat them 20-16. I'm not going to say it was a good game, but it was a game. I don't know. Derrick Henry had himself a day, 109 yards on 30 carries. Well, he had 30 yards of that called back because of holding, but that's not his fault. Dobbs did pretty good, whatever his name is.
Josh Dobbs, yeah.
I get Dobbs and Dubes confused.
I mean, they're both actually pronounced Dobbs.
No, the other one's Dubes. There's a U. If there's a U, it's Dubes. I don't want to hear another word about it.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to hear another word about it from him.
All right.
I'll tell him how his name is supposed to be pronounced.
As you do.
That's what I do. Anyway, Trey Lawrence, okay day, But I tell you what, the Jaguars are in the playoffs. That will be brief.
Well, yes, I think you're right, but
will it be brief? It's the shoot yourself in the foot Chargers that they've got that they're hosting.
See, I think this is a toss-up game. If the Chargers have not been playing well, they've been playing just good enough to get through it. Remember that stretch in the middle of the season here, where old Acne boy couldn't make a pass.
No.
And the defense had just laid down on.
This is Proactive's chance, Randy.
Well, I know it's his chance.
This is his opportunity to prove all of everybody wrong. It's time to grab the Clearasil with both hands.
Okay.
Look, I would pick the Chargers to win that game. All I'm saying is I'm not 100% certain that the Chargers will handle their business because they're the Chargers.
Tom Brady, it didn't really play much. Tampa Bay lost to Atlanta, but that was the game that the Buccaneers didn't really care about. They just wanted to try to survive to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't matter. But he did break his own NFL record for completions in a season. He had 13 completions in that game. And so now he has a record 485 completions last season. And now he's got 490 this season. So if you're trying to plan a defense against the Buccaneers, you might want to think about protecting against the pass. Just saying.
That seems like a wise decision. Yeah.
They might be a little pass heavy. I could be wrong. Yeah, all right. They didn't care about that game. And so I didn't even look at it. I didn't even watch it. There's no point to it. But I did watch quite a bit of the Bills and Patriots. That turned out to be a game. 35-23. And for a while it was a good game. Mac Jones was not as douchey. You know what I'm saying? He's douchey, but he wasn't quite as he'd been in the past. But really, it didn't matter. From the opening kickoff, Nyheim Hines used to be a Colt. Way to go. Sure glad we got rid of him. He ran back the kickoff, and then later in the game, he did it again. 2 touchdowns for Nyheim Hines out of nowhere. I always liked him as a second running back. I always thought he was a good player. I was disappointed when he left. But, wow, now everybody's wondering, do you think that you think the Bills are going to put him into the regular offense? They've had him on special teams. And I'd be like, why would you do that? You keep him on special teams, keep him fresh for that exact reason. If you got him in there pounding the rock during, in the game, you lose that spark on the special teams if you even play him there. What do you say, Keon? Would you put him into the regular rotation or keep him on the special teams?
I would keep him on the special teams. I would do what the Bears used to do with Devin Hester, where you give him a play here and there to keep him engaged in the game, so he's not just waiting for the a kick return or a punt return. But as far as regular use in the offense, he's so electrifying in special teams. I agree. I think being in the role of running back wears you down, and have a guy be able to give you that kind of shot in the arm at any point in the game. I prefer him in that role more, especially since the Bills can run the ball.
After the game, Belichick's like, and we're only going to allow Hunt's ketchup at the facility from here on out. Because if I hear Hines one more time. Next question. So the Vikings bleep stomp the Bears easily.
Yes.
And
so what?
We got a special look at Nick Mullins, their backup quarterback. So good. So there you go. Vikings. It's funny because my prediction on the Cowboys came true immediately. My prediction on the Vikings, though, still feel like they're kind of similar to the Dolphins, but the Bears was not the team to prove me right. I wonder, are the Giants going to be the team that proves me right? The Giants got the Vikings on Sunday. I'm not so sure.
I don't think that they can. If you're going to make the Vikings look bad, the way to do it is throw the ball deep. There is nobody back there who can stop you. And Nathan Peterman wasn't going to be doing that for the Bears. And it's not that I don't believe that Daniel Jones could do it. Daniel Jones has an arm. Who the hell is he throwing to? Like, that's what I'm concerned about with the Giants. They just don't have talent at the wide receiver position. And that's continued to be a problem for them, an Achilles heel. You can get a lot out of Saquon Barkley, but the Vikings aren't bad stopping the run. They struggle against teams that throw the deep ball. And I just don't know if Daniel Jones has enough weapons around him to make that possible. So I would say that the Vikings would beat the Giants.
Yeah. So it's probably going to take another game before the Vikings get exposed. But, and then that makes it sound like, well, didn't Jeffrey does not make our point? Vikings are good. Not necessarily. It's who they've had an easy road. It was easy to get past the Bears. And it may be kind of easy to get past the Giants. I just don't think they're going to have a whole lot of luck getting past many other teams after this. And I'm sure the hate texts are coming. 888-368-1580. Let's go ahead and catch up on the text line here. Lost Toby says, did you catch that Pittsburgh Players celebration? Yeah, that wasn't very. See, I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. So what he's talking about is they pretended to give a guy CPR as part of a touchdown celebration, or was it a pick celebration? And people are like, "Oh, that's too soon." Well, I don't believe in too soon, but I do think that maybe it was poor taste, or maybe it was like, "Look, we gave CPR and we're alive." They probably didn't mean it as a slight, but it wasn't like easy to see.
My guess is that they plan to do that much earlier in the season. Like,
Come on,
if
man.
we get the chance to do it.
Read the room.
Yeah, and that's one of those. Just think about it really quick. Are we sure we want to roll with this one?
So here's what it was. I guess linebacker Alex Highsmith sacked Deshaun Watson, and that's why when he was still lying there on his back after the play, a teammate came over and started doing chest compressions on him on there. So
because I've seen that
was
before.
planned.
I've seen that celebration before.
I think it would occur to you though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't like they forgot.
Any extra thought to that, and you don't do it. I'm not excusing it in any way. All I'm saying is I've seen it before, but you have to know what happened a week ago and just do another one. Do something else. Anything else, basically.
Curious ASU fan says, curious if anyone's going to talk about the TCU Georgia game coming up. Yes, we will, just not yet. So curious ASU fan, be patient. Mr. Wilbur says, Tom Landry, Michelob Light. You did ask for a good Cardinal replacement, coach, and a good favorite beer of all time. Don't think we did that. Jagdog says the Beard is going to be Belichick's offensive coordinator. After practice, they'll hit the bars and pick up hot, obese women of Massachusetts. The Beard.
Matt Patricia has a
beard. You think he's talking about Cliff Kingsbury? Thank you, Jagdog.
Is he the Beard? Is that his?
I don't know.
I've not heard that one, but
another new texture here on the text line. 3564 says, even after getting rid of Kingsbury, the Cardinals will make another terrible hiring and axe him in 2 seasons.
Thank you.
I think we have some Cardinals bots too.
Thank you.
People who don't even really listen to the show, just shooting stuff out at us.
Thank
if you're
you.
a real person, let me know but that last one from earlier never said nothing.
Thank you.
I don't think they're real. Big George says, Jeffrey, are you sad that the Colts gave up Nyheim Hines? He's a stud. Yeah, I am. I'm a little disappointed in that. I was disappointed when it happened. Easy Money says, Cards lopped heads. Good thing Kyler didn't have to duck. Heavy Metal Maniac says, being a Cowboys fan, I'm beginning to wonder if Dak Prescott may need eyeglasses. He's thrown 13 interceptions. He's missed 5 games due to injury, and he still led the league in interceptions. Yep. I think we're done, damn it.
And he's thrown an interception in 7 games in a row now, and he leads the league in interceptions going all the way back to week 9.
Jagdog, he says it was Kingsbury. Well, we know him as Skinny Jeans, or was the ferret?
The possum.
The possum.
The possum. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got to take a break. When we come back, we're kind of chunking along here on my list of games, but we need to pick up the pace if we're going to make it in time and talk about TCU in Georgia. So come on back, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
At Staples, you can count on every project being print perfect, guaranteed.
I need presentations and brochures printed, and they have to be perfect.
Your bounded presentations, brochures with the finest folds, and more will be done right every time. That's our Print Big promise. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more, plus 20% back by a store bonus. Try Staples and see the difference. Ends 2/11. Rewards members only. Bonus must be redeemed in store. See staples.com/stores/printbig for details.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Football fans, call your own plays during the NFL playoffs with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Hi, Randy from the Blender. When you bet the NFL same-game parlays from now through January 16th, all customers can get up to $150 back in free bets, win or lose. All you have to do is place your total of $20 or more on NFL same-game parlays or same-game parlay plus bets during the wild card round. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a larger payday. New to FanDuel, you can get up to $1,000 back in free bets, win or lose, when you sign up with my promo code Randy1580. That's promo code Randy1580, and make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You've got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Max free bet $100. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
Download the Fanatic app.
News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet.
The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I was just sending my son a text. He has been, he's a freshman, and he has been bumped up to JV basketball.
Wow.
So I'm very proud of him.
Congratulations.
Yes. That is one way he's kind of like me. Let me explain. He is probably 10 times the athlete I ever was. And when he plays the football, he is an amazing wide receiver, and he's amazing as a safety or cornerback on defense. And he even likes to kick the ball. He just loves the sport of football, and he is astounding as an athlete. Then basketball, that's where him and I are similar. Not really his strongest sport, but he loves that sport, and he's actually a million times better at it than I ever was. And he's actually pretty good. It's just, here's his thing. He's a little timid to take his shots. He likes to get the ball to the right player to make the right shot. And sometimes he forgets to shoot himself. But when he's playing with a bunch of guys, he's lights out, man. This kid can shoot the ball. But he really has found he just loves defense. He loves playing the defense. I played very good defense because I was just horrible at shooting the ball. So I had to try to contribute in some way. So I'd run around and make everybody else's life miserable. But I also have seen some video and shots where he did. Wait, what the hell's that all about? What?
I said I can relate.
Am I making your life miserable? Is that what you're saying?
No, in terms of playing defense, because I couldn't shoot.
Oh, I thought you were trying to see relate that I make your life miserable.
No, I'm saying that the defense thing is something we have in common.
And in Keon's head, he's like, both. Anyway, so he's actually got enough ups where he's swatting people's crap, and he got called up to JV as a freshman. So
all right, well,
yeah,
congratulations,
good
that's
him.
awesome.
Just want to tell him congratulations and tell him I'm proud of him, that sort of thing. All right, so where were we? Oh, that's right. We were talking about the games from yesterday. We've gotten our way up to the Bengals clinching their home playoff game, 27-16, with a win over the Ravens. That honestly is a little bit of a concern that the Ravens, gave them that much trouble. Bengals 27-16. You feel like that should have been a little more lopsided when they don't have a quarterback on the Ravens.
I get that, but the Ravens were able to change their game to where they run the football a whole lot more, and you have to respect that defense. I know that Mike Tomlin gets a lot of credit for it doesn't really matter what's going on with his team. He just finds ways to win. John Harbaugh, I think, deserves that same credit. The Ravens are in the playoffs always, and it really doesn't matter what's going on. They just find ways to win, and I think you've got to respect the job that their defense was able to do. In the AFC North, I'm not going to hold it against the Bengals that they had that much of a time beating the Ravens, just because beating the Ravens is hard. And in that division, they hate you. So it's even harder.
Yeah. So that happened. And there's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow said something I love. Somebody was talking to him about his ability, his window of maybe getting to be able to win a Super Bowl. And he's like, window? My entire career's the window. As long as I'm here. What are you talking about? Window. So now his window is even more open as they have clinched. And of course, they're still salty about the whole coin flip thing. And Joe Mixon, he got himself a touchdown, pulls out a quarter, and they start making that flipping the coin there in the end zone. He's like, I'm probably gonna get fined for that. He says the tough part was just trying to figure out where to keep the quarter, so I'd have it ready when it happened. He says he had heard that Chad Ochocinco Johnson had said, well, if they do that, I'll pay his fine. And he's like, so I really hoping he's a man of his word.
Joe, yeah, Chad. First off, Chad's got the money. Second off,
all right.
Chad is a man of his word on this kind of stuff because he was fined when he was playing more than anybody else in the league. And he's kind of the reason why we lost touchdown celebrations the first time around, was the league didn't like how much he was doing it.
Well, I like Joe, Joe Mixon was going to, hey, did you see what happened the other day? He's texting. I did the thing. And the response about an hour later, new phone, who dis? All right. So do we even need to talk about the Texans and what happened with them and the Bears? I mean, they gave the Bears the number 1 pick by
which I know that Lovey
beating my Colts.
Lovey thought he was going to still have a job, but I'm glad Lovey got to ruin something for the Texans on his way out the door.
Yeah.
Because he didn't deserve to be fired after 1 year. I'm sorry. I agree that team was the only time for me when a guy deserves to be fired after 1 year is when A, he's incompetent completely, like Nathaniel Hackett, or B, the team just quits on him. But we just don't believe in you. If the guys are still fighting after one season, you've got to let him get his guys on the team to run the kind of system he would like to run. So no, I don't think that was fair. I'm glad that he was able to at least stick it to the Texans organization on his way out.
No, Fish Tank, different kid. It's not that one. It's a different one. He's like the anti-LeBron. I like this kid already, but it's not the one you just mentioned. Hefty Lefty says it was a weird week for Cincinnati too. Why was it a weird week for Cincinnati?
Well, they were involved in that game that never happened. They had a 7-3 lead.
It's less weird for them.
Well, I don't know.
They were just there hearing all the same things that the Bills. I mean, when we saw players on the sideline just losing it, crying and everything else, it was Bills and Bengals players alike. Because it's just
I thought it was just like they were remembering it horrifically the time that Carson Palmer was there.
No.
Like, I figured they should probably have some mental health experts available for those guys.
I don't think any of these guys were playing at that time.
Probably worse when Marv Lewis was their head coach and they had the Red Rocket.
Oh yeah, Dalton years.
Even worse. I should just point out that Marvin Lewis deserves more credit. That man went to the playoffs every year. He had the Red Rifle as his
but when you have the Red Rocket,
and because they went to the playoffs, they could never replace him in the draft.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious what the Bears are going to do with their first round pick. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to trade it. I think somebody's going to trade up for that pick, and the Bears will get more draft picks to go on top of all their other draft picks.
That is a very smart thing to do. I think that's definitely on the table. But Matt Eberflus is a defensive coach, and Will Anderson is going first in this draft. That is
all right.
I mean, he is by far the best defensive player in this draft. I think he could be the best player in this draft. I wouldn't pass on Will Anderson. I think that he is a complete no-brainer of an athlete coming out of Alabama.
Fish Tank says, Lovey after the game said that was probably my biggest Bears win of my career. That was a long game. Big George says, agreed, Keon. Lovey did not deserve to be fired after one season. He was given crap team, and he did the best he could. He should have been given a chance to have that number 2 draft pick and improve next season. Screw you, Houston Texans. Well, now it would have been the number 1 pick.
The general rule is you give a guy 3 years to try and put his team together. And then if in year 3, there's no improvement, you're not.
Yeah, but remember when it happened? They're like, hey, they hired Lovie Smith. I was like, they shouldn't have done that. I don't think Lovie Smith is a very good coach. We've seen enough of him so far. I got no problem with him as a guy. He has an epic beard. But as far as coaching goes, I remember we talked about this when it happened. I remember that won't go well.
But this wasn't the proof. This year was not the proof. He has the worst. I understand they're not the worst team in the league, but record-wise, he had the worst roster in the league. How do you fire a guy after that? If
you're fired.
How did the Bears fire him when he had a 10-win season?
Like this, you're fired.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't think he should have been fired from the Bears either. I mean,
that's been his journey. I mean, everywhere he goes, he seems to get a raw deal.
I have an idea. Hey, Lovey. Yeah, I've seen those commercials where the dude gets a little bit of that gravy gone in the beard there, you know?
Oh, you get the dark hair going.
Do a little something like that. Do a little that. Do a little that. Oh, put 10 years on your life. Maybe like, hey, that's the head coach for us. I don't
Well,
know
since
about
they're only hiring young guys as head coaches these days. You gotta.
No, they're like, we don't want black David Letterman, you know, with a big old white beard.
But it works for him. I don't know.
I think Lovey's beard looks fine, and Letterman looks like a hobo. 888-368-1580.
And he doesn't care.
No, and I don't think Lovey does either. I do like Lovey. I just, okay.
I agree with you, but I was somewhere,
but I don't think
have hired him in the first place. Camp. But once you hired him, give him the time to do what he needs to do. Unless he was so awful year one that you just gotta fire him, which no one was going to be good with this team. Just nobody.
Yeah, it was unfair, just like what happens with Steve Wilkes. Well, did he get fired yet? Is there any word? I haven't paying attention to. I'm trying to keep one of my tabs open to see.
No word on Wilkes.
There's more stories about them interviewing Adrian Wilson and Quentin Harris internally, but whatever. Let's see here. Baker's Cocky Hymn says now the Texans can grab former Cardinal great Josh McCown.
Why would they do that?
Well, I don't mind. It's my division. So yeah, I like your thinking. Booger Wolf says, "Sup, Niner fans." Let's go.
Oh, that's right. Booger Wolf is my hero.
There you go.
You know, you could have just given me the reminder.
I like the long,
blanked
awkward
on it.
pause that it became before you having to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like you having to say that any more than you do. Well, maybe a little more than you do.
I was just looking off to the side. I was reading something, and so I didn't realize it was a Booger Wolf text. You could have just let me know.
Last Optimist says Lovey consistently won 9 or 10 games. The Bears, who've not been owned by the Packers since they fired him. Hefty Lefty says, "Say no way to Mr. Gray with Just for Men." Oh, I see what that is. That's an old commercial. Big George says Lovey for Colts head coach. George, I'd go a 2-minute penalty for George just for that statement. I'm not reading any more Big George texts until after the next hour. That's at my discretion.
Wow.
Puts the lotion in the basket, says Gruden. Okay, that'll be
why.
We got just enough time to talk about how everybody was sort of thinking that maybe the job of the little weirdo over the Miami Dolphins head coach might be in jeopardy. And here they are in the playoffs. Why are people still talking about J-Lo's ex-husband? What's it? Mark Anthony, the head coach of the Dolphins? Nerdy Mark Anthony. That's it. What's his name? What's the guy's name?
No, it's Mike McDaniels.
There. No, what?
He's another McDaniels.
Really?
Yeah,
all right.
Well, separate Mike, McDaniels.
He survived the Jets. That was sarcasm. And now the Dolphins are in the playoffs. His job was never really in jeopardy, was it?
No. No. He's a first-year head coach who was honestly ahead of expectations.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
Yeah. And his offense is brilliant. Say what you want about the guy himself. His offense is an actually it does a lot to make defenses have to stay on their heels, but it's still something that players can come in and learn pretty quick. So I like the guy and what he can do for a team as a head coach, and he seems to understand what he's doing, and he doesn't overcoach, and he's not meddling with what his defensive coordinator is doing. No, I don't think he was really.
Seems like a pretty good coach, but he also seems like a guy who'd bring the kids in off the street if he was hanging around on his front porch. You know what I'm saying? he
just has that face.
A little creepy.
You can't trust it. I don't know why.
All right. So the Dolphins are going to, that dream ends next weekend when the Bills take care of business versus the Dolphins. I don't think Tua's coming back. So, all right, guys, one more hour to go and just a couple more games to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of an LG wash tower with ultra large capacity, serving up a powerful yet gentle clean in just 29 minutes. Making this the sound of savings on the best appliance brands. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Get up to 25% off the LG wash tower with ultra large capacity and reduced wash time. Pricing valid January 5th through January 25th, 2023. Gas dryer extra. US only. See store or online for details.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk. I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill in the morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
NFL Wild Card Weekend is here, and the easiest way to get into the playoffs with the FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers join today to get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with my promo code RANDY1580. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line, point spreads, player props. Plus, you can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay. It's all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Football fans, don't miss out on your chance to place your first $5 bet to get $150 back in free bets, win or lose, with my promo code RANDY1580. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older and present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit TalkNowAZ.com because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at TalkNowAZ.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K242 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
I was kind of thinking maybe changing the way I start the show. But people would probably lose their minds though if I did that, right?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I've been saying the same crap for years. Maybe
Why
there's
change
another
it?
way.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Does anybody really care?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I think George would probably lose a
Let me
gasket.
hear what you're thinking.
What's up, Beffers?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's not going
that's
to work. That's a
definitely
hard no for me.
Well, it
Same.
was there was more, but you didn't let me do it.
No, stick with what you do.
I just feel like yeah, we could change something up here. I don't know. Should we have an on-air meeting? About.
I don't think you should change a damn thing. I mean, I think it works. It's got good energy. I think the people like. I mean, what does the Fourth Dimension say about the way you open the show?
I don't think they care. I just know that if I ever change one word here or there, I get notes. People like, oh, you didn't say it right. But I don't think they.
Then I rest my case.
I don't. Well, that one person will say, but I don't think people generally care how we do this.
You said notes, plural.
Okay, so me not getting in this hour, did that jerk with your guys' brains at all?
It did me. I don't even know what to do
I was
now.
waiting for you to say something so I could.
Yeah, I just was. I just realized I keep doing this the same way all the time. Maybe it's time for some kind of change or something.
I mean, you
I don't
could
even know
go
what to
for
do
it.
now. I don't know what to do.
I didn't mean to bake your brain, Randy. That was not the point.
Well, it's happened.
Yeah. Heavy Metal Maniac says, don't change it. It's really good, especially the third hour thing there. Oh, I'm not talking about the intro. I'm talking about the crap that I say over and over and over again. Yeah, I kind of figure I could, change it up or something. The one thing we could do is maybe just do all pre-produced kind of thing. Yeah, then I don't have to do nothing.
Pre-produced.
Yeah.
So
where it says, and now, yeah, it's the Daily
third
Blender.
hour.
And then you have the thing like on Saturday Night Live. It's like with Keon Rose, and then Keon just goes his little smiley thing there.
Well, it's radio.
Randy White, and here's Jeffrey O'Brien, and then I come out and we just do the show.
We could do what we used to do some 20 plus years ago when you had a bit on the show. You would do the news setup, and I would go, Jeffrey, Brian.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember
that was when I did the sports for the show
Mm-hmm.
back then, all those years ago. And sometimes you'd keep going and pass out.
Well, I wish we would stop talking about that.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
So anyway, I don't know. It just occurred to me right at that moment. Am I really just going to say the same stuff I say over and over?
Well, you
and
haven't
over?
even opened the hour yet, so I don't even know.
The hour is open. We're just
were like,
talking here.
Hey,
We're talking.
uppers. I mean, that doesn't work.
That definitely does not move.
It was just an idea. I
it's
didn't say it was what I wanted to go with.
It's a bad idea. I voted down. Keon?
I definitely vote that one down.
All right.
You don't have votes. Nobody votes. We're just talking here.
We're having a meeting.
But no, if you want to change it,
Point of order. I'll grab Roger's rules right now and whoop both your asses with it. Because if anybody knows how to run a meeting, I know how to run a meeting. But I don't know. Just thought maybe we'd change it up. That's all. You don't just get tired of hearing the same crap over and over again.
No, it gives me the warm fuzzies.
It's just part of the routine.
Yeah.
It sets the tone, and then
your names will still be said.
No, you don't even have to say our names. You just got to do the open right.
Well, that involves the names and stuff. So I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe it's time.
I'll tell you what,
to freshen this thing up.
I tell you what, do it like you normally do. Instead of saying alongside Randy White, you say alongside Keon Rose.
Well, no, I'm not alongside.
And right over there, that's Randy White.
See what I'm saying? That's the same thing. I'm just changing names.
Yeah, well, you've just changed the whole damn dynamic then. See?
But it's just the same thing. I don't know. Maybe now is not the time, but it just
Casey
occurred to me
Kasem
right there.
Casey Kasem had a wonderful career. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, he played Shaggy on Scooby Doo.
And he also had the America's Top
Scoob.
40.
Yeah. Keep your feet on the ground and your ass in her face.
No, feet on the ground,
How's
reaching
that
for
go?
the star. It had nothing to do with ass in the face.
I don't know. I just
had nothing to do with that.
I'm not as old as you are. I didn't
keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the star. See, that was his thing.
Keep your feet on the ground. Keep your hands in the air where I can see them.
No.
I don't remember.
Well, I do.
What's your point?
Well, he didn't change it up.
I don't want to see the same stuff over and over again. That's all I'm saying. When I did stand up back in the day, I would always change the act. Always changing the act. I always change stuff. Always change stuff.
Did you?
Constantly.
What about how you would come out on stage?
Well, How do you change that? You
How
just
would you-
walk up there.
See what I mean? You'd have the same opening number.
If there was music, that was the music. I'm
There
not
you go.
saying change the open of the show or the music of the show.
See what I'm saying?
I'm just saying the stuff I say. Maybe you'd like to change that.
I mean,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
don't
What
have
do
a
you wanna
problem
say?
with that.
I'm not going with what's up, effers. We're not doing that.
I think that was immediately shot down by Radio Ron. He
Yeah.
probably took a spit take of his beer as he sat here.
It's Johnny Walker Black.
Oh, he's not doing that. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
it came right out on the kitchen chair there.
Well, that's just like one of my go-to lines. I was telling my wife, I was like, if we win the lottery, we're going to invite some people over that we don't like. And as they're standing there in the foyer of this giant house, these giant ceilings and all the, I'm gonna ride by in a Vespa scooter, stop for a second and go, "What's up, effers?" And then right away. That's
See?
it. That's all. I thought that would be just real funny.
See, I think you ought to try. Let's. Do you have something you want to say? Something new in the open? Is that what you want to do?
I don't know.
Let's try it. Let's just go ahead.
I don't have anything yet.
You're live.
No, stop. Turn it off. I'm not doing this. I don't have it.
Well,
figured out.
you said you wanted to do something new, and so I was playing you the music to go ahead and
I didn't
let's
say
try
I
a
had
few.
it figured. I don't
Try
want
a
to
few
I don't
things
have
out.
anything to try yet.
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
try it. There's the music.
No, I hear the music. I just want to say the same crap I always said.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I need some time, Randy. I need some time alone. I need some time to myself, to my thoughts. I'm breaking up with the open of the show.
That's so sad.
I love it. I'm just not in love with it. No, don't try to stop me. I'm breaking up with the open of this show. I need a little time away. Don't stop pleading with me. Open of show. I need some space. No, you're making a fool of yourself. Open of show. You're making a fool of yourself. Just have some dignity. Twitty, it says, "You're right, Jeffrey. We don't care about the opening. It's like reading the ID for the station. Oh, yeah, like the liners and stuff. Yeah. Okay, open a show. Stop. I'm gonna call security. I'm gonna have you removed. You're just embarrassing yourself right now. You're embarrassing yourself. Well, that's definitely not going to be the open of the show. I get it, Law and Order theme, trying to take the moment to make your like, hey, I know, no, you're not going to be the open of the show. The Jet says, Randy, tell the breakfast potato not to change a damn thing. Well, that seemed like an Irish slur, didn't it? The breakfast potato. Us listeners like the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. I don't believe you. Blender at 1580thefanatic.com for fantasy football. I'm not starting the show with that. Good Cat says you should use your Kasai Japanese Steakhouse voice for the new opening.
Oh, damn.
No, Good Cat. Heavy Metal Maniac says, yeah, okay. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't change it. Fish Tank says, all right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. It's the Jeffrey O'Brien calling card right there. See what I'm saying? It's time for something new.
Here.
Okay, well,
have a whiskey. Think about it.
Thank you. Big George says, I still remember when you used to say, we have Keon Rose in the control room pushing buttons and taking your calls at 888-368-1580. Well, that was when the show first started, before we realized we don't want to talk to you people on the phone. But see, George used to listen to the show back 20 years ago when it was a just an entertainment and comedy type show. Hefty Lefty says, damn, the opening of the show sounds like a complete psycho stalker. The makeup sex, though, must be stellar. I have never had sex with that show open. I don't even know what its name is. So I did not have sex with the show open.
All right, Bill.
I did get a handy from a bumper music, though. Big George says, maybe you can just open the show by saying, hey there, everybody. You're listening to Jeffrey O'Brien and the Afternoon Zoo on 1580 The Fanatic. Well, it's not the name of the show, and we're not doing that. It's the Daily Blender. I just happen to be on it. So, I don't know. Just saying. Just maybe, I don't know, get that voice guy to do something.
Get the voice guy to do it?
I don't know. I just feel like we just need something new and fresh.
Something new and fresh.
You know, it's the 5th anniversary of 1580 The Fanatic come February 13th on a Monday, which, by the way, was also the day we started Fanatic. So 5 years ago on Monday, February 13th, 5 years, Cinco de Años that we've been doing this nonsense. So, yeah, forgive me if maybe I've realized we should freshen this crap up a little bit.
Did you say Monday the 13th?
Yes. Monday. No. Oh, God. How would you even put it as a bad thing when Monday the 13th, the anniversary of the Fanatic, is the day the Fanatic started? That's a good thing. There's no thunderclap for that.
It's Monday the 13th.
There's no.
You already know how I feel about that.
It's just a Monday. It's not a Friday the 13th.
But it's the 13th.
Okay. Randy, bring your umbrella. Morticious Man says, hey, will the Packers keep Rodgers or Matt LaFleur? They should fire both and start fresh, in my opinion.
Wow.
But what do you think as a professional in the biz?
Has Matt LaFleur not proven he can coach?
Matt LaFleur is not the problem in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers isn't the problem in Green Bay. That general manager needs to get some more talent for Aaron Rodgers.
Brian Gutekunst.
Yeah, Brian. I loved his TV columns here at the Arizona Republican, by the way. The Adam Gutekunst.
No.
Whatever. Dropping the Soap says, my Super Bowl prediction, San Francisco versus Kansas City. Kansas City wins 30-26. You're welcome.
Who said that?
Dropping the Soap. For the
Kansas City
Super Bowl?
and the 49ers in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Could happen. Could happen.
I mean, I guess.
It'd be good. I just can't believe the 49ers turned out to be this damn good. Beer Nut says Cardinals will hire the greatest clapper of all time, the great Jason Garrett. What hire makes you want to just quit the Cardinals? You know what I'm saying? Is there a hire they could do where you're like, you know what, that's it, I'm out?
Vance Joseph.
That would be one. Mm-hmm. I don't see it happening, but
this is an opportunity for the Cardinals to go out and make a splash. Now, just hear me out for a second.
I'm hearing.
Instead of going with this stupid co-GM thing, which will never work, okay?
Correct.
You've got to have one GM leading this team, not two different people.
Can I just stop you for a second, Keon? You're saying he co-GMs with somebody? Well, that got happened when he co-coached with a bunch of guys. Did not work. Of course, they didn't have a whole lot of talent to co-coach, but still,
yeah,
it's not going to work.
But the co-GM thing is just not going to happen. Like, you can't, especially if it's going to be a leave of absence. Like, you can do co-GMs if both guys show up together. You can't have one guy and then later somebody else.
You can't. Yeah, you got to have one GM. And can I put in my name? I haven't done this yet, but let me just.
Randy White for coach.
No,
you said you're going to put in your name.
No, I want to bring forward my candidate for the Cardinals GM role.
Okay.
And this is a guy I've been watching for years now, and I like what he does. I like the way he goes about his business. It's no nonsense. Louis Riddick, general manager of your Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, he's a smart guy, and he's done the work before. That's the thing too. It's not just that he's TV guy. You know, nobody wants a repeat of Mike Mayock with the Raiders.
That's the first name that came to mind, Mike Mayock.
Louis Riddick
has been in the business
worked in front offices before.
Right,
so this is not going to be show up and learn how to do this.
I don't know that Riddick wants to leave TV.
I bet if Mr. Bidwell gets on the horn with Louis Riddick, and they really seriously talk about, the potential of him coming here and being the GM, I think he would jump at that.
Interesting. Twitty says, it's your damn show. Change the opening if you want. Frankly, I've got no control over it. Well, didn't mean to bother you there. Stockton Slap says, maybe you can just use an actual blender for the opening. Like,
no, that's another hard no for me.
Hefty Lefty says, says it's Monday on the Vitamix, 888-368-1580. Booger Wolf says, have Randy use his cringy sex trafficker voice to do the intro. Oh, you mean the Dean Blandino voice? Yeah. You mean when he did the spot? I didn't think your voice was cringy in that sex trafficking thing. The content was creepy.
Yeah, it was creepy content. But
Big George says that's a thunderclap for the competition.
You mean on
when you
Monday?
Guys signed on 5 years ago and wiped the floor with them?
Monday the 13th.
Yeah. It just. Mr. Wilbur says you can go from Jim Nance and just simply say, hello, friends. Good Cat says, Randy, can I get a quadruple Makers 42 meat, please? I think he means neat. But I'm intrigued with Maker's Mark in meat. Good Cat needs we might need a meeting after that. 888-368-1580. All right. So right now, right here, Baker's Cocky Hens wants to hear Keon talk some TCU Georgia already, please. So, all right, Keon, take a couple minutes here. What's going to happen in 13 minutes in the national championship game?
Yeah, it's gonna. I think this is going to be a good game. I think TCU's offense is one of the best in all of college football. Sonny Dykes, their head coach, is a brilliant offensive mind, but he inherited a damn good defense too. And TCU, they've used that to great effect throughout the entire season in the Big 12, where they pretty much dominated, won a bunch of games in and out of conference all year. I thought the Heisman Trophy finalists, not including Max Duggan as one of the guys, and instead having Stetson Bennett. I like Stetson Bennett, but Stetson Bennett is a very average quarterback, which brings me to Georgia. Stetson Bennett is a very average quarterback, but fortunately for Stetson Bennett, the rest of that team is awesome, and most of them will once again be drafted in the first and second rounds of the NFL draft this year. On the offensive side of the ball, we know that they can run it. We know that they have great tight ends, and we also know that on the defensive side of the ball, they can make life hell for people. And when they really needed to against Ohio State, that defense stepped up, put the clamps on a very prolific Ohio State offense, and managed to steal a game from the Buckeyes that really Ohio State should have won.
All right, so go ahead.
And I really credit obviously Kirby's smart, but I really like their corner, Keely Ringo. That guy is amazing.
So Uga, if I can say that, Uga has the favor. 13.5 points is the spread in favor of the Uga. Can TCU cover the spread?
I think they will. I think they will. The 13-point spread is insane to me for a national championship, and I understand that TCU doesn't have all of the cachet and the clout that Georgia has coming out of the SEC, obviously being the defending champions going into this game. And Georgia has a tendency, they toy with people that they think that they can beat, and that might maybe be the wrong thing to do. A slow start in this game, the way that they did against Ohio State, that could be costly, and I expect Georgia to come out ready to attack. But TCU's got an offense that can put up points on damn near anybody. And when they can't get it going in the passing game, they run the football, but they can get it going in the passing game too. Quentin Johnston, their lead wide receiver, is a guy that's going to be a top 10 NFL draft pick potentially. And he's going to be dangerous. He's going to present a problem for Georgia. I think the game's going to be a touchdown game. I think it's going to be very back and forth.
Because something has changed in the money line. The money line for TCU went from plus 360 to plus 400 on FanDuel. So that's interesting.
That is pretty interesting. I wonder, because there always is that kind of, when it comes to betting, that movement right up before the game where the money's going to one team for the most part, and then people try to bet the other way, just either to hedge their bets, or maybe the money moved so far in the opposite direction that it actually becomes a good bet to put some money on TCU.
Well, the over under is 61.5. What say ye? Over or under?
61.5 is a lot, and I still think you might want to take the over.
Interesting.
Well, remember, TCU put a 51 spot on Michigan, which is no slouchy defense. They were 13-1 in a very tough, conference as well, and they walked through Ohio State. Ohio State gave Georgia a run for their money. I wouldn't rule TCU out of this game tonight. I think TCU, if they lose, it's going to be a very close loss. And I think you go over the 60. What was the 61 and a half? I think you go over the 61 and a half.
I agree. And thanks for bringing that up, Randy, that they played Michigan, and Michigan has one of the better defenses in college football. It's kind of their calling card this year, that and their running game. And TCU didn't seem to have much of a problem with it. And oh, by the way, they did it on the ground running because they are a tough school. This is not going to be a team that shows up, gets punched in the forehead by an SEC team, and they don't know how to respond. They've already played physical teams, physical programs before, Michigan among them. So I just think that when you have that kind of background that TCU has, they're going to make this game very close. I'm still taking Georgia. I just think that with all of the talent that they have on both sides of the ball, it would be very hard to pick against the Bulldogs. I know going back to back is tough. And I know that TCU is a really good squad. And it stinks for me to have to say all of these nice things about TCU and then still not pick them. But that's how good I think the Georgia Bulldogs are. But I don't think that 13 points is a particularly fair spread here, because I just think TCU can compete.
We are now very late for a break, and we will do that now and come back with more of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brian Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
With the NFL playoff picture set, it's time to look at teams and their chances of winning their conference and representing themselves in Super Bowl 57. The Kansas City Chiefs are the favorite to win the AFC plus 165. The Buffalo Bills right behind them at plus 200. The Cincinnati Bengals, who are the defending conference champions, plus 410. The Chargers are plus 1,100. The Ravens plus 1,700, Jacksonville plus 2,100. The Eagles favored to win the NFC, Philadelphia plus 160, San Francisco plus 200, Dallas at plus 550, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers plus 1,100. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwhiners.com. Save 75% when you use the promo code ACTION75. Experts.winnersandwhiners.com. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in. The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best. Tee it up at the 2023 WM Phoenix Open, presented by Taylor Morrison, February 6th through the 12th at TPC Scottsdale. Get full tournament information at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
That's WMPhoenix.com.
Homeowners age 62 and older, now is time to act. This is Rob Kane, your retirement mortgage specialist and host of the Retire Right with Reverse Rob show on 1510 KFNN. Yes, listing prices are down, but home values still remain at very high levels. Don't wait to learn more about the new and improved home equity conversion mortgage. This is a safe and proven coordinated strategy in retirement, which will improve your monthly cash flow, lower your tax liabilities, and make your retirement portfolio last longer. Call me today, Reverse Rob, at 602-REVERSE or on the web at www.reverserob.com.
Remember last year when you wanted to hear that NFL matchup, but you couldn't because you were at your nephew's birthday party and the Fanatic couldn't stream the NFL on their app? Didn't that suck?
Well, those days are over, pal. Now you can listen live to every primetime NFL game on the Fanatic app. Download the app now at the Google Play Store or the App Store, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I need a minute. I got locked out of my FanDuel account, and I'm trying desperately to get in and make a bet. Did that ever happen to you? And they're like, hey,
Yes.
right when you want to make a bet, here's a good time to reset your password. You're like, no.
It has happened to me. Sometimes in one occasion, I was able to get in time and make the bet. In one instance, I was not.
All right. I'm trying to figure out how much money I've got left in this account here and see what I can do here. How much should I bet on the money line?
$50,000.
All right, I could do that. Let's see here. How does this thing work? Damn it. All right. So tell us more about TCU, Keon. Button.
Well, I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about Georgia because I did talk up TCU quite a bit. I do think that Georgia's defense is it's a defense that I think a lot of people thought was going to take a step back this year. And then when you look at what they were able to accomplish this season, this defense is every bit as good as the defense from last year. I don't think that it's as good against the run as last year's defense was, but this is still a really damn good defense. And keep an eye out for Jalen Carter, on the defensive line. He's going to be a disruptor. He's a guy that gets into the backfield. He stops whoever the ball carrier might happen to be, whether it's a quarterback or a running back, which we know that TCU is going to do a little bit of both. There's going to be some designed runs for Max Duggan, and he's going to be able to help Kirby Smart in getting in there and blowing up some of those plays. And I think that that's going to be someone to look out for Georgia and their defense. The other guy that I like to look for is Kelee Ringo. I think that Ringo is somebody who is very raw. He's got a lot of growing to do as a football player. But when you just talk about raw talent and athleticism, he's got it all. And he's somebody that I think Ohio State targeted him a lot in the previous game, but CJ Stroud is one hell of an accurate thrower of the football. I don't think Duggan is as accurate a passer as Stroud is. And I think the throwing against Kelee Ringo, potentially a bad idea. So I don't know what TCU's plan of attack is going to be on that front.
I think this might have been a bad idea, what I just did. So I got into FanDuel, and I appreciate their watching out for my security. And I bet the money line, just quick bet, right? $10 to pay 46. TCU. But I bet the money line TCU. And the reason this might have been a bad idea is the minute I hit my bets, it says you can cash out for $8.67 if you like. That is not a good sign.
So the line's still moving, basically.
And not the right way.
And not the right way.
888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, I'm excited for not having to hear about former walk-on Stetson Bennett after tonight. We get it, dude. You weren't that good in high school, and you got to start finally after 5 years. You're 25 years old. You better understand the game well enough to start by now. Meanwhile, BYU is researching how they don't have this 25-year-old quarterback on their team. Baker's Cocky Hens says, pretty obvious. The entire screen just moved on me here. Hold on here. Oh my God. Yeah, that's weird. What says over here isn't the same over there. He says Georgia struggles versus mobile quarterbacks. Look what Jaden Daniels did to him. Duggan should be able to beat this team. Fubar 1000 says, howdy, Blender Bros. Ain't got nothing other than empty thoughts. And then again, now everything on the screen is weird. There it is. So we've been having issues with the text line where it lags and does weird stuff. Now when I click on it, I don't see any of what you just said until I scroll up or down, and there's no rhyme or reason. It's fantastic. Fubar he says, now the NFL season's coming to an end. He says, I don't know what to think. He says, not sure what's going on with the NFL.com, but it's showing Basement Dweller as champ of League Two. Congratulations, whoever the champ is in League Two. Yeah, I'm still sorting out. I wanted to make sure I contacted everybody. We did manage to resolve how we were going to deal with the champions in the league, but I'll be honest, I've been so busy. I've received the emails in where everybody said, I got to go back and see who still needs to be brought along. It's just a huge mess, but we will have announcements here very soon on who's moving up to the Premier League. Everybody was very cool about splitting the prize when it was necessary and how we figured things out. I did get one angry email from producer Wes. He's like, I've been trying to get into the damn Premier League for a lot of damn years. And I said, Wes, you would be compared against a bunch of other teams and you're not even mid-level. Your championship, had you actually won it, you'd have been lower level as far as the criteria we use to decide who goes where. So, okay, fine. Fubar also says, Jeffrey, when do I get my hundo for 7th place? It's in the mail. Big George, he says, Randy, have you not learned anything from the Herm Edwards fiasco? We don't want an ESPN personality running our coaching our local Arizona teams, unless it's you, Arizona.
But I understand what you're saying, but he's not just a TV personality. The guy has been in the front office of professional football teams before, and I like the way he breaks it down. I like the way he analyzes players. And this is not just another TV analyst thing. I think that Louis Riddick would be a great GM.
Yeah, I'm not completely opposed to the idea. The guy is brilliant.
And with Herm didn't actually like to do the essential parts of being a college football head coach,
right?
Which you cannot say about Louis Riddick. The guy's going to do the work.
The Wiz says, what's that one song? Something, something, something. Yeah, just put that in a blender. Thanks, buddy. Eye Candy says, Jeffrey, I don't know if you guys talked about this earlier, but the morning show mentioned that Scott Frost purchased a home in the West Valley. Is there any significance to that? Do you know if he's hired on as some kind of coordinator for ASU or Arizona or maybe even for the Cardinals? You act like we know things.
No, I hadn't heard anything about that. I wouldn't put a ton of significance to that because Phoenix is just a city that people like to live in. You have enough money, you can move out to Phoenix. Phoenix is one of the warm weather cities that people like to move to, so I'm not going to put a ton of stock in that, but I also hadn't heard anything connecting him to ASU or any program in the area.
Hook'em Hottie says, what would you say to Dan Quinn? Get some sun? I don't know. Pinocchio thinks that Kingsbury might be a good Patriots offensive coordinator.
I don't like Dan Quinn as a head coach. I think the guy is an incredible defensive mind. He's very smart, but I saw him coach the Falcons and they got to that Super Bowl and they lost that Super Bowl, and Dan Quinn lost that team entirely and was never able to get them back for years after. So I just don't think that he's that guy in terms of you put him in charge of an entire NFL football team and he's going to get it right. I just don't think that Dan Quinn's the hire the Cards are looking for.
All right. So the Panthers beat the Saints and does he get to keep his job now? Does Mr. Wilkes keep his job for the Panthers? Did that help? Does it matter? We haven't heard that anybody's fired Steve Wilkes yet, but hey, they beat the Saints. So
I think he's made his case. I don't think you give a guy a job just because as the interim coach, he came in and did really, really well. I think that is a data point you consider, but you still cast the net, you still interview other people, and he might be the best candidate among that that group. But if there's somebody who potentially, has an offense that's more innovative, or a defense that, or defensive scheme that might fit your personnel really, really well, I don't think that they have to attach themselves to Steve Wilks, but also they're not rushing to get rid of him either. I do think they legitimately like him.
All right, so the Chargers, they played their starters. The Broncos, well, they played their starters. It should have seemed lopsided, but for whatever reason, it wasn't, and the Broncos won that game. So what specifically is wrong with the Chargers that they can fix that will help win them that first playoff game?
I think part of it comes down to the Jaguars defense is not as ridiculously loaded as the Broncos defense is, though the Jaguars defense is loaded. They are going to have to come up with some answers to what happens when you take away Justin Herbert's first option, or his best option on a play. They don't seem to respond to that very well. And if they don't figure that out, I mean, they could get a big fat L from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, that could happen.
I like how the Broncos have sort of stepped up their game the last couple of games. Does give you a little bit of hope for whatever weird future they may have. Eagles handled business against the Giants. I'm not going to say easily. Jalen Hurts was out there, but they said Hurts was hurting as he was out there. It makes you question, why was he even out there at all, to be honest? But
because they wanted to secure that 1 seed.
I think you'd rather just be happy you're in the playoffs.
Well,
give him another week to heal.
The problem is, if you're happy you're in the playoffs, if the Cowboys had managed to win their game, which they didn't know at the time, you're playing next week.
Yeah. But if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Well, I'm not exactly happy, but the point
Why
is,
aren't you happy?
Because I'm just generally not.
Why are you not happy? Did you know Keon's not happy?
I didn't know this.
We were not aware that you were unhappy. Is it because the intro of the show?
No, it's not the intro to the show. The intro to the show is if you want to change it up, you come up with something.
All right, so then why are you unhappy?
No, just generally in life. not nothing.
I thought you had plenty to be happy about in life. What happened? You beat the Cowboys. That's
that did make me very happy. Yeah, yeah.
Why is Keon unhappy?
That's what I just asked. He's not
I
answering.
mean, we don't have to talk about.
Give
this
us a
right
list
now.
of why you're. What's the most troubling thing in your life right now? Go ahead. You can tell Jeffrey and I.
Well, the thing is, if I could tell Jeffrey and you, and I wouldn't
we're
mind,
like the big
but I
brothers you wish you had.
I would also be telling the entire Fourth Dimension.
No, that's not true. Fourth Dimension, don't listen. All right, go ahead.
just don't listen.
Go ahead and tell.
No,
us.
I think look. We don't have to talk about this right now. The point is,
Well, you're
I don't even remember what my
you'd be
point
posting
was.
stuff up on the social media. You may as well tell us.
I don't post any of those things on social media.
You got the lady troubles?
That's part of it. That's part of it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, lady troubles. That's you probably shouldn't talk about his lady troubles.
Hmm.
I don't mean like you have female issues. That's a different thing.
Right.
But you have lady troubles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about as much as I'd want to say there.
Moderate to light harassment at work, probably one of those things. Could that be it?
No, that's generally funny.
Yeah,
that is not moderate. I mean, sometimes we
I
pass
was being
moderate.
generous.
Is that what we're calling it?
I did lose a damn bet to Booger Wolf, so there's
yeah. Well, that's Fourth Dimension harassment right there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But
all right,
I did that to myself, so I got to own that one. Yeah.
Let's take a break. We only have a couple more games left, and we'll let Keon get back to his miserable life. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs.
I never really thought about tools until I bought a house in the suburbs. It's like this weird homeowner test if I need a tool for a project and don't have it. And my neighbor Ted loves to give me that look when I ask to borrow a pole saw. A year ago, I didn't even know pole saws existed. And now I gotta borrow one from Ted? What is happening?
Anyway, when you save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto, that's the easy part of adjusting to the suburbs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, coverage provided in service by affiliates and third-party insurers.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved, and the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Sun Devil men's basketball is better in person. Catch the Sun Devils when they return to Desert Financial Arena to face the nationally ranked UCLA Bruins Thursday, January 19th. And enjoy Kevin Shiflett, the chin balancer, at halftime. The USC Trojans come to Nedwell Court Saturday, January 21st to close out the weekend. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball, onward to victory.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
And Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I'm thinking about changing my backdrop too. My wife was like, don't you ever want to change things up with that? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I just do it where the camera is like right in my face like this. Like my face just right up next to it where you can see my nose hairs. Tell me if I got bats in the cave, if you know what I mean.
I saw an interview this weekend with Jeff Van Gundy, and he had his phone, and that's basically what the setup was. It was just Jeff Van Gundy's entire face filling the screen, but below his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose face would you rather see that close up? I'm thinking me. Fubar says, damn it, Jeffrey, you'd be a good head coach, a great head coach for the Cardinals. You and Kyler, your temper, his height, Super Bowl 58, baby. No, I would not. I would not. I wouldn't even want to coach him. I'd want to slap him probably. Against the Spread says, should be a great game tonight. To finish a great season, gentlemen. I'd like to give you guys a big, juicy hats off compliment on your coverage of the college football season, especially Keon. Well, Keon was the coverage. You crunch the numbers, you know the teams, and offer valuable intel to the masses. TCU tonight, fellas. Little guy has some serious athletes. Because of what you said and because of what Keon said, I bet the money line I stand to make upwards of $30. So thank you. We'll see what happens. And I won't hold it against you if it's wrong. Fish Tank says, another fact on Tomlin, the Steelers have had 3 coaches since 1969, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now Mike Tomlin, all of which have won Super Bowls. That is mind-blowing.
What the hell does that even feel like? Like I don't even know.
I can tell you because Colts have won in my lifetime a couple times. Fecal Miss says, I recently won a fantasy championship and I'm willing to put my name in the mix for Cardinals GM. I can bring at least 4 to 5 wins a year, like you're used to. Plus, I'll do it on the cheap. All right, Fecal Mist is now in the running to be the new Cardinals general manager. Good luck to you, my friend. Good luck.
Is he now?
Yeah, well, that's what he says. Do you want to say anything about the Commandos beating the Dallas Cowboys and, exposing them to the world, or have we already said enough?
In a game that they were actually trying against a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, what was that dude's name? Howell?
Sam Howell.
How
Sam
do you
Howell.
do?
He looked all right. He looked all right.
11 of 19 for 169 yards, touchdown. It was one interception.
There was one interception. It was a pretty bad one. It was like triple coverage in the back of the end zone. Like, good Lord, man, what are you doing? But he's a rookie. I thought the touchdown throw was really good. He also had a run for a touchdown too, which he's the first quarterback to have a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown since RG3 back in 2012. So, there's that too. I don't know if I can read too much into the performance because they did decide to protect him a little bit by running the football a lot. But near the end of the game there on the last field goal that they scored, he had a 50-yard pass to Terry McLaurin that just looked smooth. And he has his problems because he is a rookie, but he's kind of the best of both worlds between what Carson can give you with the arm strength and what Taylor can give you with the mobility. And one has to question why he wasn't playing before yesterday. I do have that serious question.
Well, maybe he's been developing in the background,
which is true, But last week, of all the people to go to, and he went back to Carson. I'm like,
All right, we're running out of time, and we still have more games to go. But real quick, Dick Whiskers says, "I'd love the Cardinals to consider Eric Bieniemy." Randy, really briefly, what do you think of that?
I don't mind it. The only thing that I'm a bit concerned about is he doesn't have any head coaching experience. He's just been the OC. Now, yes, he's been passed up, how many times, and he's an Andy Reid guy. So I don't mind that so much. I think I would just like to have more of somebody that's got some head coaching experience that can
hasn't choked a woman.
Well, there's also that, but that was so long ago. I mean, he's been good since then.
I just say. All right, so let's move on now. 49ers beat the snot out of the Cardinals. It wasn't even funny. It wasn't even close. But hey, J.J. Watt, I mean, that's sad that he wasted his time with the Cardinals. But, he's enjoyed his game. He's enjoyed his life. He's going out physically able to continue, but choosing, I think it's time to preserve my body and move on to the next thing. 12.5 sacks, 25 quarterback hits, 56 pressures in this last season. And in that game yesterday, he had 2 sacks in a losing effort. Tells you everything you need to know about J.J. Watt. Of course, the 49ers gave him a standing ovation. They put him up on the big screen, and everybody was chanting his name. J.J. Watt, universally loved by everybody but quarterbacks, in the NFL and in the game. So, it's sad to see him go.
It is. It really is. I wish that he could have done some more winning here with the Cardinals. I think he deserved that.
Sadder is that the Seahawks are in the playoffs. That's probably sadder than anything else I can think of. Can you think of anything sadder than that?
No.
The Rams, you knew that they were going to lose that game, and but still, just to see the Seahawks in there, and Ralph is just gloating, sending texts, and that it's just at the beginning of the season, what we predicted for the Seahawks happened to our teams, not yours, Keon. But you know what I'm saying? It just ridiculous. It just right there. Pete Carroll is just, he's a god amongst men when it comes to NFL coaching. That's all I can say about that.
Is he?
And then Geno Smith, he's going to get $3.5 million extra bucks because of the incentives. They got him on the cheap. And so, of course, he had an incentive laden contract, which they don't usually expect from, a guy like Geno Smith. Well, he's going to get at least that payday right there. So that's going to feel pretty nice. You expect the Seahawks to go anywhere in these playoffs?
No. It's the Niners, and they've been brilliant since the McCaffrey trade. He's been a real punch to their offense, and obviously Brock Purdy can run the show. He's running the Shanahan system, and I think a lot of people have been giving him the system quarterback tag. Look, every quarterback needs to be in a really good system. The fact of the matter is Brock Purdy makes the right reads. He always makes the right play, and he's mobile enough to where he can make some plays with his legs too. I think I don't know. I just like everything about the guy's game. And I just believe that defense, along with what he does with that offense, that they're going to smash the Seahawks.
We are down to our last game. We actually made it, guys. We actually made it. Sunday Night Football last night, Lions beating the Packers, giving Ralph what he wants, where his Seahawks get that final playoff berth, and kind of give me what I want. I like to see Aaron Rodgers unhappy. And so they, took the Packers out of the running as well. And I'll tell you what, the Goff thing about not being able to play outside when it's cold, it's still true, but they were able to just get it done. He was 23 of 34, 224 yards. And I feel like if they'd been playing inside, that probably would have been a lot more, and the Lions would have beat the Packers by quite a bit more as well. And so everybody's like talking, they're going to trade Rodgers? Is Rodgers going to leave? Is Rodgers going to retire? There's a lot of speculations on Rodgers, and when he wouldn't switch jerseys, everybody's like, ooh, that means he's want to keep his last jersey. I say he was cold. He will be back, and Randy is right. There's a lot of money involved, but also, he's looking over at Tom Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady left his team, went and found himself another Super Bowl. You got to think that Aaron Rodgers is thinking the same thing. He says, I'm not going to hold the Packers hostage. I'm not going to give them a hard time. That doesn't mean he's staying, does it?
No, because you know what? If he shows up and says, hey, I just want to be traded, that's the opposite of holding them hostage. Now they know his exact intentions and they can make moves around that.
He's going to walk in and be like, I'm the boss now. I am the boss.
I am the captain.
I am the captain now. So he can do whatever the hell he wants. And I guess the Packers had better hope that he decides to stick around. But I don't know. Maybe they don't. Jordan Love? I don't know. All right. So there was something that happened last night. Quay Walker standing there, and some players on the ground hurt. I don't remember who it was. And so then this one of the medical guys comes running over, kind of pushes the Quay Walker aside so he can get in there and do his job. Quay Walker's like, and he pushes the guy. And then the guy's like, what the hell? And then another player who should have been identified in this, I think it was a tight end, came up and kind of put a shoulder. Two guys were given this trainer guy the business down there when all he's trying to do is go out there and help an injured player. So, of course, Quay Walker is ejected from the game. The other guy should have been as well. If you see that, I bet there's going to be a fine involved for that player. And as he's going down the tunnel, they got video on him, and he's all upset. But I could tell right there everybody's like the thought he was mad about getting ejected. No, he was mad at himself. You could tell his body language. He's like, oh, stupid. What am I doing? And because he's done this crap before with a guy on the sideline. And he's owned it. He's completely owned it. Says, I was wrong. I should have never done that. I got to face these consequences. I can't believe I've done this again. I reacted off emotions. I take full responsibility. He called the guy and apologized. He's saying all the right stuff, but he's going to suffer some sort of consequences on that. And I got the feel, I don't know how well paid Quay Walker is, but I think this one's going to hit him in the pocketbook.
He's a rookie, so he's on the rookie deal right now.
Right. He needs his money.
Yeah. This is going to hit him pretty hard.
Might be the kind of thing to get you thrown off a team.
I don't know if it's going to be necessarily that, because he is incredibly talented. I do think that they're going to try.
They needed him.
Yeah. And actually that play doomed the Packers, essentially locked them out of winning that game, because it just put I think the ball on like the 3-yard line or whatever. But yeah, I think Quay Walker has got a lot of growing up to do, and he seems to understand that. But just the same that the CPR celebration is, this is not the week to do that. When it comes to trainers coming out to help an injured player, this is not the week to make that mistake. The league is going to hit him hard.
Not great on the optics, kid. But, all right. So here we are. Now we're getting ready for Super Wild Card Weekend. That's what they call it, Super Wild Card Weekend?
Mm-hmm. Because they're just an insane amount of wild card games. We've expanded the playoffs to the point where you get a whole weekend of football.
It matters to not one of us on this show.
Well,
it'll be fun to watch, though.
My team's not in there. Your team's not in there. Your team's not in there.
Yeah, but I'm used to this. So
Ralph's team
I'm
is
also
in there.
used to this. So
I don't think we want to talk to Ralph this week. I think we want to wait until after the Seahawks are out.
Hey, Ralph, just take a Thursday off, and we'll see you next Thursday.
New phone. Who dis? Oh, you're right. Hold on. Do we have time? How much time we got?
We've got a minute.
All right, let's do it. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. The one time his reminder actually helped. Back in the year 1952, the United States Marine Corps announced their plan to recall Boston Red Sox outfielder Ted Williams, who missed 3 years in the majors due to serving in World War II, back to active duty. As a fighter pilot, he'd fly 39 missions over Korea and survive a crash landing after being shot down by the enemy North Koreans. But he would play briefly at the start of the season, but not return to the Boston lineup until 53. And his head is now frozen just down the road from where you are now in Scottsdale.
How about that?
This is such a bizarre thing to know.
If you want to know what that looks like, just think about Dan Campbell on the sideline freezing his face off during the Packers game. All right, so that is it. That is going to wrap it up for us. And I actually feel like we did accomplish something talking about every single game that happened yesterday. And that's the last time we get to do that for a regular season. So I'm happy and sad all at the same time.
Yeah.
Happy that we did it. Sad the season's over. Happily looking forward to what happens next year. All three of our teams have a lot to look forward to. You Cowboys don't have much to look forward to, though. Sorry.
Not this week.
All right, guys. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Adios.
When cold symptoms keep you up,